coming at you. Welcome once again to Saturday Night Football. Full house here at Football Park in South Australia to see the Crows in action. They're just coming out onto the ground now. They're going to be up against the Kangaroos. It will indeed be a very big test. But many believe the Adelaide Crows are back on track. They have won their last 3 and they are set to take on the reigning champions who've won 5 and lost 3. Nice to welcome Gerard Healy back to Football Park. Touch of winter, G. Full house, great atmosphere, and should be a very good contest.
I agree with all of that, Sandy. The Kangaroos look to have just about their best side on paper. Lee Colbert, maybe Capuano could only improve it. The Crows are back in form. And I think when any two sides that have played in a grand final meet, it's always has an air of expectation, and that's certainly here at Football Park.
This time, of course, when you talk about grand finals, though, the Adelaide Crows have a different coach. It is Gary Ayres. Let's hear from him now.
Well, Gary, you would know as well as anybody in footy that to beat the Kangaroos, you have to be hard at it from go to woe.
Absolutely, and that's been the message that we've spoken about all week, Neil, is that we've got to make sure that we come out and be as hard as we possibly can, not only at the ball, but also too in our pressure and our work rate, because really we know that the Kangaroos are the measuring stick in the competition.
For the Crow supporters, it's good to see young Albertson back, so obviously he's done enough at the SNFL level.
Yeah, he has. He's put together a pretty solid month. And look, James Byrne may consider himself a little bit unlucky because of the fact that he's been part of a side that's won the last 3, but we just felt that Brett would give us a few more options.
You'd have to be very happy with your back half. I thought last week they were very, very good for you. The forward setup is just not quite jigging right yet.
Yeah, it's been a little bit indifferent, I must admit, and our back 6 have been very solid. And if we can just get the right structure between what's tall and what's small, and then obviously get some crummers in there, which I think we can, well then obviously we'll be a bit more efficient in that area.
You're expecting a toughie. It's going to be one. All the best.
Thanks, Neil.
And here is Gary Ayres' squad. The big news here is, and a warning to Ansett, because the Birdman is back and could well be flying high tonight. I'm speaking about Brett Burton.
Yes, and him along with the fellows highlighted, Sandy, are going to be responsible for kicking the winning score. Scott Welsh has kicked 20 goals. He's the major goal kicker for the Crows. Jarman's got 17. Peter Vardy's got 14 from 6 games, and Sean Wren has just kicked 6, but 4 of those came in one match.
And here we can see the Kangaroos coming out onto the ground. It's not often you see the reigning premiers belted as they were last week, but they certainly were. They have made a couple of changes, though. Some very big changes, too, and we'll talk about those in just a moment. But first up, let's hear from their coach, Dennis Pagan.
Well, Dennis, tonight, a bit better balanced with the likes of Archer, Calthorpe, Carey back.
Yeah, look, we didn't play well last week, Neil. We welcome them back tonight, and hopefully they can play near their best, those 3 players.
Anthony Stevens, just how's he progressing?
Got a very positive report from the specialist the other day. We probably still think it may be closer to 4 weeks before he plays, maybe 5. He's made a remarkable recovery, severing the nerve in his neck. He's doing all the training with us, so we just
not
keep
far away.
Not far away.
Now, Carey's an interesting one. You play him forward, you boost your goal scoring tally. You play him back, you restrict the opposition. It's an interesting one, isn't it?
Yeah, well, look, we still kicked goals. Probably last week was the first time we haven't kicked a bag of goals. We play Wayne forward, our blokes kick to him. Doesn't matter where he is or how outnumbered he is, they continue to kick the ball to him. So he gets a hell of a lot of buffeting as a result of it. We just think it's appropriate that we sort of play him where he can enjoy his game and play in the same situation as everybody else. And we know he's going to win a lot of the ball if he plays back or forward without the same sort of pressures as perhaps being the target always in the forward line.
You're expecting a tough one. It should be that. All the best.
Good on you, Neil. Thanks.
Last year, Jared, the Roos for the entire season used 34 players. So far this season already, they've used 32 and a number of changes tonight.
Yes, and firstly, Sandy, apologies to Anthony Stevens. I'm sure he'll be sitting at home watching. Of course, he would strengthen this lineup when he gets back from that nerve injury, but they really do need some victories at ground level, and Shannon Grant Simpson's been in great form tagging all year. Peter Bell's had another outstanding season, and Brent Harvey has become one of the best midfielders in the competition. That's where they can win this game at ground level. They do need a big victory though. They've got a percentage of just 96.32, which is a percentage of a side just on the border of the 8. They've had 5 wins, but really haven't hit their straps just at the moment throughout this season. Wayne Carey returns. You'd reckon he'd play start in the back line. He's been such a success there, and he can always be thrown forward, which means that 2 premiership centre-half forwards, Sandy, in recent times, Matthew Rodman and Wayne Carey, are both dominating across halfback.
Well, let's just take him back into attack as we go to the break and relive some vintage Wayne Carey in the past few years.
Carey leading Jakovic to the ball. He's got Scott on offer, goes the other way, backs his judgment. Carey takes on his long-time adversary, goes at goal. There's that his third. Great play from Carey.
Carey's in the area.
Carey at the back. He works off his man, Wayne Carey. Don't tell me! Oh, you beauty!
Rushing back to the square. He's got it. Fuscus, Carey. Carey with a one-hander.
There he is. What a catch.
It bounces in the vicinity of Carey. It's magnificent! Never gonna get me down.
It's ticking away. They've done what we thought was impossible. They've been to Perth, to Melbourne, to Sydney, to Melbourne, and they've come back, and it's theirs.
What a win.
They are a super football.
When was that? 90.
It's endorsed. It's
That's 98, mate.
It's ticking away. They've done what we thought was impossible. They've been to Perth, to Melbourne, to Sydney, to Melbourne, and they've come back, and it's theirs.
What a win.
They are a super football team, no question. It's endorsed. It's franked today.
Yes, nothing like reminiscing. McLeod coming back into some form too. Graham Corns appears to have lost something as we welcome him. You were searching there, Graham.
For my bottle of water, but nevertheless, I was actually watching Darren Jarman running to the bench too. Very unusual, someone of Darren Jarman's quality starting on the bench in an AFL game.
And it looks like Spider Burton also running to the bench,
yes,
which would mean that Corey McKernan is going to start in the ruck for the Kangaroos.
Gary Durkay is also on the bench as we have a look at
Brett Burton and Ben Marsh just in the background there, but Darren Jarman trying to look inconspicuous I tell you what, he won't be inconspicuous when he comes on. He's due for a very big game.
Graham, what's the feeling in South Australia this week? The Crows, is everything back on track?
No, there's not that overconfidence. Certainly they're back on track. There's a lot more happiness and joy around the place. Gary Ayres said that he's looking forward to this game to see how good they are now. I don't know whether that's a negative or defeative statement, but I would have thought they know how good they are.
Speaking of happiness and joy, it's a delight to welcome him again. Curls, good evening.
Thank you, Sandy, and good evening to all those viewers in Melbourne. Well, we see Wayne Carey lining up forward, which of course would have been a big question asked before the game, but this promises to be a real tough game, and judging by the noise coming out of the North Melbourne room, or Kangaroos room, they're ready.
Full house. The opening bounce, it goes the way of McKernan, but it's Rashudo. He was been in sensational form, gets it out to Costa, trying to shop his way clear, gets it back to Rashudo. The Roo goes long, penetrating kick over the top. McCartney will defend to the line and give away a behind.
Yeah, it looked like a big push out there from Glenn Archer, but he got away with it. The formula seems to be, Sandy, if Archer's back in the side, then Dennis is confident that the back line is strong enough and Carey goes forward. If one of the guns, Martin or Archer, misses, he goes down back.
Robert has given away a free kick. Well, he certainly adds a fair bit of steel, doesn't he, to the backbone. Carey kicks towards centre wing, and that's a good mark taken by Clayton. Under plenty of opposition, too, from Bickley.
Yes, McKernan running forward very strongly too here.
Call to play on now, needs assistance and has it in the form of Motlop. Comes back to Clayton. The hand pass was okay from Shannon Grant. Clayton is 55 out, bending it in towards full forward. The breeze pulling it back a little. Smart was caught behind, he did it very well. He steadies, does the veteran, and he spirals a punt back towards the centre. Robrin again behind Carey. Carey first to recover. Clever little chip, and he finds Motlop.
And it may well be, Sandy, that Carey is just playing a midfield role.
Shannon Motlop goes long and direct in towards full forward. An effective spoil from Bassett. Socket off the ground by Simpson. May give Shannon Grant another opportunity. Rashudo's got him. Not before he gets it away to Bell. Very tight angle. Goes in towards full forward. And McKernan marked it over the line. It's behind.
Yes, well, there's no doubt Matthew Robin, who's been playing centre-half back for the Crows, is picking Wayne Carey up. Sean Wren is definitely at centre-half forward. Jason McCartney centre-half back. So I think Gerard's right. I think Carey just running in the midfield.
Which would mean that Gary Ayres would keep Robin on him, or?
Well, Robin's been so good running off and running forward. I'm sure he wouldn't change that setup.
Fine grab from Rhett Beglands. Kicks up towards centre wing. I'd like to check with Curls in the breeze here at Football Park. It's a cool night as Costa sends the Crows into attack. Curls, what is it at the moment?
Yeah, well, it's certainly worth an advantage. Maybe 2 goals.
To the Crows' end, as Pike relieves the pressure. And not a brilliant kick, but Archer should tidy up. Steams through and kicks towards half forward. Number of high flyers. Motlop was one who got it out beautifully. Oh, McCartney's on his own here, almost down to right half forward. Jason McCartney is 60 metres from goal. Goes long in towards full forward. No mark taken. Kangaroos still have the numbers. It should have been taken. It wasn't all that difficult. Push towards Nigel Smart. He's got to get his skates on if he's going to keep it in play. Picks it up nicely now. He's on half back. Gets away from King and looks towards centre wing, and Sean Wren. Not going to be Page. Smart did well to get it eventually back to Wren. He got it out towards centre wing. Bickley got a cruel bounce. Tyson Edwards gets a good one. Edwards, lovely kick in towards half forward. Robrin a long way from Carey. Robrin chipped short. The Crows a chance.
Well, he was in 2 minds, Matthew Robrin. He's kicked many goals from that distance. He thought about it with the breeze at his back, but his disposal is so beautiful, and Tyson Stenglein dropping into that hole, having run forward off to the wing, presented a tremendous option. Now, the kick wasn't perfect, but Stenglein good enough to stretch, take it, and he has a shot at goal, but Carey now has to watch that.
And Simpson's tagging Rashudo.
Not a goal kicker is Tyson Stenglein. Can he change that? He can change it. He's got one.
Well, this is going to be enthralling. Matthew Robin will just run straight through the centre corridor. If Carey's going to go chasing kicks and the ball is turned over, the Crows will use him. And that's exactly what happened that time. The ball came back to the centre of the ground. Good vision by Edwards, good disposal by Edwards. And Robin now he thinks about it. Will I, won't I? Great vision. And Stenglein just stretches to take the mark. and converted.
Adelaide get the first goal of the night. Stengline gets his first goal of the season. Another awkward bounce in the middle. McKernan goes a little early. Was tried to slap out the back. Costa will take the hand pass. He's very quick, but he's gone the wrong way. Could be very dangerous because Winston Abraham intercepted. Can the Kangaroos reply? Down towards full forward. McLeod's in defence. He's running into some very good form. McLeod chips it wide and finds the veteran Hart.
And Byron Pickett, who was so impressive up forward against St Kilda a couple of weeks ago, has also started this match in the forward line.
Martin, an effective spoiler. Bickley keeps it in play. Round the boundary line he goes. Strong mark taken by Wren. The big guns are coming back, Graham, aren't they?
Well, he's played in front. He's presented himself. Unlucky not to have been paid a mark early, but made no mistake about that one.
He's still a long way from home, but he'll look in towards half forward. Biglands could be a flyer from behind. Carey came over to affect the spoil. Blakey gets a hurried kick to the outer side, and that's okay. It's taken by McCartney.
Glenn Archer's picking up Welsh, as we just saw. McCartney on Wren. McLeod and Shannon Grant are running together across half forward for the Kangaroos.
Hart, the effective spoiler over Abraham.
This one with Carey's interesting, boys. He's sucking down that back line a lot with the, while they're kicking against the breeze. It just needs some of the Crows boys to find Robin with the ball, and that will force Carey, of course, to pick him up.
McKernan, front spot. Tries to sneak out the back door, was unsuccessful. Bell's always very quick to Harvey. Little toe poke for Brett Harvey in towards the middle, and it's socket off the ground. Smart if it sits for him. He's in business. He can swing back again. Gives it to Kane Johnson, who tumbles a punt to full forward. The danger signs are up again for the Kangaroos. Tyson Edwards, round the body he goes, and he's kicked the second.
Well, it's a classic Crumming goal. The ball didn't come through cleanly, but Nigel Smart turned to the running Kane Johnson. The ball was not delivered accurately, just half smothered off the boot, in fact, as you saw there. But front and centre, as everybody likes to say, and Tyson Edwards, a good look at the goal, just bent it around on his left boot. He knows where the goals are. Not quite as accurate this year as he has been previously, but still a very important player for the Crows.
And Nigel Smart's just moved into the middle of the ground to take this centre bounce. He has been electric in this early part of the match.
Carey has now gone back to the true centre half forward position.
Adelaide going with the aid of a slight breeze, but they've got the early goals. King dodged some heavy traffic, kicks again to half forward. Robin this time was in front. Who's got the back for the Kangaroos? Pickett was there, couldn't do anything with it. Pressure on the defence, but they're equal to the task. Goodwin gets a left foot wide to the outer side. Goes past Stengline. He needs assistance. Bickley's there with him. Stengline almost threw it out. He's down towards centre wing. Bickley's ripped off the ball. He continues to go, and he's going to get a free kick. The attempted trip was spotted by umpire Darren McCauley, and he's got it on the outer wing.
You don't often see that kicking in danger, and I think that's what was paid, Sandy, but it was there.
Bickley over the head of Wren, drops a little short, and the big man almost had to do the roving. Simpson should clear for the Kangaroos. He has Peter Bell cruising past on the outer side. But it's Adelaide who's got away to a flying start. Carey on the outer wing. Finds Shannon Grant. It's between centre and half forward. Critical game for both sides. Smart again. Oh, he's made a very, very positive start. Bassett gives it off to Johnson. Changes direction a little. His kick slews off the boot. He was under pressure. Stengline ducked his head. So too did Motlop as he went to ground. They lock it up, and the umpire will come in. And we've got a bounce just in the Kangaroos attacking zone.
Yeah, look, it's not a nervous start, but it's certainly tense. Both teams making mistakes, and I think that's the pressure not only of the game, but of the opponent.
Jarman, as you saw, starting on the bench and still awaiting his chance. Clayton off without it. Smart again. Mickey Martin took a punt. It didn't come off. Pressure now for the Kangaroos defence. Troy Makepeace, who's starting on the ground, pushed it to the line. Has got the kick. Towards centre wing. He spotted Archer. Right on the line. Archer, that ball not appearing to sit up too much in the breeze. McLeod can't get clear. Shannon Grant, the hand pass, little too flash. McLeod and Bickley lend support again, and it's Bickley who goes to the outer side. Oh, there's danger here because Welch is clear. He could go all the way. 3 bounces, 60 metres, 45 metres now. All of a sudden, he shoots towards goal, but he's gone across the face, and he's popped through a behind.
Well, it's one of the toughest shots of playing football when you're coming off a 100-metre sprint.
King off here for some reason.
Crossing 50, you should always drill it though, and Archer's a million miles away from him, for heaven's sake.
Well, David King was opposed to Nigel Smart early, and maybe he's just going to go there and have a chat to Dennis Pagan about how the coach wants him to play him.
David Calthorpe coming onto the ground, might get in the thick of things pretty smartly. Edwards got him, not before he got it to Archer. Chips in towards the middle, finds Byron Pickett. Archer drifts down towards centre wing, and he's got to go.
Well, play on. Sure why.
Thought about going short to Harvey, but then elected to go in towards half forward. Had a couple of options there.
Strong hands.
And Harvey is screaming for it in the forward pocket. It's got to be good, and it is.
Wrong position there, though. It's very difficult to score a goal from there.
Yes, and almost invariably the kick goes quite viciously from right to left. But he's a tremendous goal kicker. He's a tremendously hard-working footballer, young Brent Harvey, as Jared would attest from State of Origin selection.
No doubt about that. He has improved, but the locals here are just reminding the umpire that Brent Harvey has in fact creeped around about 3 metres. He really has opened up the angle. 12 goals, 9 he's kicked coming into this game, and he's kicked a beauty. That's a great goal. Yeah. So Harvey gets his first for the night, and the Kangaroos get their first.
Not only worked hard to get the possession by finding the space and attracting the kick, but a little bit of nous there just by opening up the angle. It's a difficult pocket. Kimi Costa looks like he's got the job on him, and Kim Costa wears his players like a glove, but just let him slip away. He got under his guard, certainly got behind him and found the space, then kicked the goal.
13 goals to Brent Harvey for the season. A good one into the breeze here at Football Park. McKernan again up against Biglands. Clever little flick on. Well, it was a throw, said the umpire, from McKernan.
Twice on 2 occasions now. Archer slipped away from Welsh.
Rashudo has the free kick. Speaking of slipping away, Nigel Smart's doing plenty of that at the moment. Another penetrating kick down in towards the forward line. Archer and Martin. Martin had it for a long time, got rid of it though. Gives it away to the old man of the side in John Blakey. Blakey cruises through half-back. He ran a long way, didn't he? Goes in towards the middle and finds Shannon Grant. Grant wants to go on with a look out. Calthorpe, you're in trouble. He's lost it. And so too is the side as Vardy picks it up. Tumbles a punt down towards the 50. The bounce will be interesting here. Flicked over the back, but taken by McCartney. He steadies. They clear once again. And Lang takes the mark. It came from Bell. Lang looks towards the centre of the ground. Carey comes steaming out. Shannon Grant, clever tap. McKernan could have gone on because there's Hectares and there's no one there. That ball will dribble towards the boundary line. It'll stop.
Look, that's amazing. Rhett Biglands, the biggest of those players, got there first.
Clears it wide to Stingline and had to be pretty accurate, bouncing just inside the line. It was.
And McKernan appears to be taking centre bounce duties and then pushing forward, and Adam Lang or Wayne Carey just rotating as to midfield duties for the big man.
I'm not sure it's as simple as that. I think McKernan is just running forward because Lang goes back to full forward. Carey now has gone back to centre half forward. So.
But McKernan had to push out to take the ruck duties.
Jarman is about to come onto the ground. And you can hear the roar with Brian Benke coming off. The lead is on from Carey and he takes the mark. 46 metres from goal.
Space in front of a player like Wayne Carey, and if the kick is good, there's nothing you can do about it. The kick wasn't perfect, but there was enough space for him to make the distance and sliding into the mark as he does in that trademark fashion.
And for those Kangaroo supporters back in Melbourne, your boys have started very, very well there. They're very confident, they're running strongly, and they're picking up and they're finding loose players with the ball.
Jarman is on the ground, as I said. Blakey has the job on him. And Carey is shooting for his first goal and the Kangaroos second. Kicking from 48 metres.
It's a great kick into the wind.
Kick of a champion.
Well, he found space. The kick was good enough. He thought about the kick for goal into the breeze, and he started. He had a perfect camera angle He started it right at the right-hand goalpost. Here's the build-up. Not a great kick, but just enough. Well, in fact, it was a great kick because it had to clear Kim Costa and gave it enough air to do that. And enough room for Carey to run onto it. You see the ball starting right, coming back with the breeze. Pretty good kick.
A one-point ball game here at Football Park. But it's the Kangaroos going into a slight breeze. Bell overruns it and he goes again. Does it beautifully. Comes out wide. He's got the opportunity now for Motlop. Has to give a little ground towards Mickey Martin. It's not pretty, but he gets it to half forward. And a strong mark taken by Corey McKernan. No one at half forward or full forward. They go streaming down ground. He chose the option of Carey, which mightn't have been the best one to pick at the time. Motlop's been very busy. He goes long. That's a great kick from Shannon Motlop.
Well, not only a great kick, Sandy, the work he did, the deceptive action that he showed just to give himself some space. Just a beautiful turn of the body. With a slight bulk, found himself in space on his right leg, got the ball onto the boot. Beautifully done, and if you can find half-forward flankers or wingmen as he's playing now, he's running off the wing, but we've seen him in the forward line, who can just find that little bit of space and deceive the opponent to give himself that extra time and kick goals. They are so vital.
Bickley has the job on Motlop, who's got his first as we go back into the middle with the big men. The Kangaroos hitting the front for the first time. Rashudo has a couple of bites at the cherry and he eventually gets it out. Down towards half forward. Martin again is the effective spoiler. The old defence of the Kangaroos has been pretty good, hasn't it, over the years. Up towards the middle of the ground. McKernan let it go. King soccers it wide. Have they got the numbers? No, they haven't. Simpson may get a chance to run at it, but doesn't. It's locked up. Costa couldn't get a handle to it. Rashudo goes wide to Smart. Now they're away. Nigel Smart from 80 metres. Pulling it back in towards half forward. Jarman from behind.
Well,
tries to pluck it, but he's not successful.
He's almost certainly had first hand on that, though. What's this? Well, he's all over the shoulder, so Martin Pike in front deserved the kick.
And this big fella's in front. He's very difficult to get the ball away from.
Corey McKernan.
After dropping an early mark, Sandy, he's been in pretty good touch.
Yeah. There's that one down in the forward line. Robin with the one hand, not enough. Hart almost dropped it. Carey, clever little kick. King go off the ground. He'll go again. Gee, picked himself up beautifully. Then he tried to go off the ground. That spinning ball eventually lands with Bassett from McLeod to Hart. And they're out of trouble for the moment. Chipping it to Johnson, who's almost down to centre wing. Johnson transfers play into the middle. Kick has to be good. Tyson Edwards, he's got a player. Robin has broken free on the outer side. And he's got him now. McCartney gives chase. Robin chipping into the forward line. Jarman is back. And he takes the mark. 55 metres out. 45-degree angle.
Well, I thought for one horrible moment that Tyson Edwards had missed Matthew Robin. But he found him, and this kick from Robin, absolutely perfect. And that's where he hurts. His disposal is so good.
58 goals last year, 327 in his career. Oh, he started on the bench. He wouldn't have liked that, so there's a goal, he says.
But that's what he does, Sandy. Now, when there has been some suggestion, Cornsey, that he's considering his future, I'm not sure why. If you can average over 2 goals a match, even if you are spending some time on the woodwork, you are such a vital player to your club, and he could go on doing that, I would think, for at least another 12 months after this year, if he so desires. And already 1 kick, 1 goal.
But he's 33. His form hasn't been greatly consistent, and I think that's what's worrying him, you know.
Jarman gets his first, his 18th for the season after coming off the bench. Goal for goal here at Football Park. It's a ripping start. Rashudo on Motlop. Johnson caught. The ball spills free. Hand pass flicked out. Blakey leads in the race and he's forced to sucker off the ground. Finds the boundary line, but it's in the Crows' attacking zone. There's John Blakey. What a player. 307 games. And he's kicked 99 career goals.
Abraham off. And big Spider Burton on.
Rashudo to Smart. Smart takes on a couple, then gives it out to Edwards, back to Rashuda. Poor hand pass. Could be very costly. Clayton in all sorts of bother. Tried to shovel it out. No one able to get it clear effectively. Eventually it's out the back door. That's okay to Costa. His hand pass drops short again. It's Clayton.
Good.
Finally to King. Good hands there. Very, very quick towards McKernan. Got an awful bounce. Biglands is there with him. McLeod cruises at the back. He just cruises. He's in overdrive. Gives a little ground there, but he's found Robrin, and they'll commence their attack from the last line of defence. He's got Hart on half-back.
It's the danger of the switch play because it opened up the whole other side for Adelaide. They've got players running loose everywhere. But there's a 50-metre penalty, I'd suggest.
Still got Vardy running loose on the outer wing now, out of flank.
And
Probably
King,
end up with this.
Sorry, Jared. King is again off for the Kangaroos. Abraham has come onto the ground, so Dennis Pagan making plenty of changes. Vardy being worn like a glove. He almost threw it out, but it didn't matter. Here's Jarman in the pocket. Have a look at that. There is vintage Jarman.
Well, I think it might have been a ploy to start him on the bench. Well, he always gets John Blakey, and John Blakey probably would have been looking for him at the first bounce. He wasn't there. It might have just distracted his attention a little bit, and now we have Martin Pike lining up on him. Some good work from Peter Vardy and also Troy Makepeace putting the pressure on, but the hand's just good enough. Jarman doesn't need much more of a vision of the goals than he saw there. He didn't see much of it at all, but just slotted it through beautifully. 2 goals in the first quarter, exactly what Gary Ayres is after.
7 points the margin. We're coming here tonight, and some people were suggesting that it was time for vintage Jarman. Well, it's vintage Rashudo as well. That's a long bomb towards full forward. They're under the pump now, Pikey and the boys. He gets a hurried kick. Blakey will fire towards the boundary line.
Tripped at the appropriate moment just to take the ball over, but good to see Mark Rashudo kicking the ball. He's already had 10 possessions, but 7 of those have been handballs, and he's just a far more effective player when he is launching the football with his boot.
You see Blakey there on Edwards, and I'm sure Dennis Pagan would prefer Blakey on Jarman.
King back on the ground. This time it's Lang having a spell towards the centre wing.
Oh, he dropped it.
Carey dropped it.
He's human.
And we've got a throw in.
I think poor old John Blakey was starting to have nightmares there for a while.
Just in the Crows attacking zone. They lead by 7 points. A cool night here in Adelaide. Great night for footy. Burton doing the ruck work. Bickley tried to get out the back door to Johnson. Off to Costa is clever. They're handling it pretty well. Down towards full forward. Pike comes charging out again, and a clever kick sees him find the line for another throw in.
Well, there's no doubt from the Crows' performances of the last couple of weeks, they've certainly lifted, and good opponents bring that out of football teams. This is a completely different standard of game that we've seen from the Crows for a couple of weeks now.
Burton, a poke from behind.
And there's definitely nothing wrong with Wayne Carey's movement. His run for the ball then was very, very good.
One interesting one is Andrew McLeod and Shannon Grant. Grant certainly paying him great respect now that he's pushed up to beat the fullest ball in goal-kicking distance. Having said that,
look at McLeod. He pulls it back in towards half forward, but that's a great grab by Martin Pike. Very cleverly done. Bigland's a little late on McCartney. Jason McCartney looks towards centre wing. Shannon Grant is the target. He's made a ton of ground and he's away. Going to have to hit that ball hard to bounce. It's a soft turf here at Football Park. Goes up to Carey. Not appreciating the close attention. He should be very careful.
Is he taking it off him? He's certainly chatting to him. Have a look at this again. Watch the elbow come back.
Just a chat. He wants Archer as play goes on. The fans here have just seen that in replay, and they're not at all happy. Archer tried to get it out. Pickett's under the pump, almost runs into his old man. Hart, an effective tackle. Pickett gets another opportunity. Carey also. Listen to the boos as the King lines up. He goes long, and he's pulled that badly in towards the pocket. And the one behind is the end result.
We might see that again. It's pretty harmless stuff, and really, in this day and age, it's just the sanitisation of the game that makes it look a little bit awkward. It should be allowed to be let play and let go.
Motlop sends it straight back in towards the forward line. Oh, here's an opportunity for the Kangaroos through Pickett, but he has just missed.
Well, it was like a backman there. He just hesitated when the ball came to ground. He had too much of a look at his Carey again. Now, it's a lot worse than what he looks. Matthew Robin doesn't even flinch. He doesn't rub his ear and should be allowed to play on.
Hart brings it back into play to Goodwin. Goodwin towards centre wing. Here are the sprinters in Burton and Wren. Here's Beckley. A high ball in towards McCartney, who defends again very well. But waiting down in front is Johnson. Clever little tap onto Beckley. Beckley goes back in towards half forward. Kick's got to be good here. Abraham will come from behind. The spoil was there. Carey and Smart. This will be interesting. Carey, too good. Pushes towards half forward. Grant ripped off the ball. He needs support, and he's got it now through Abraham. He looks towards goal. It might beat Hart, and it does for a sensational kick.
He's hurt himself, but...
Well, it was a double effort. I think it was Winston Abraham that spoiled the ball across half back for the Kangaroos, and then he just sprinted to goal. It was outstanding. Carey's kick wasn't great, but it did set it up. Well, we've missed the spoil, but there you see Winston Abraham going forward and back onto it again. Let's see if we can pick up the injury.
Bad injury here.
It looked pretty harmless.
Trouble then for Winston Abraham with what appears to be an ankle. We'll have a look at it again, Jared, see what we can pick up.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Just saw the ankle go. Yeah. Just pushed as he kicked. Landed awkwardly.
After a great goal, that brings Gary Durkay onto the ground, and the Kangaroos hit back as Harvey's kick goes down towards the forward line. McLeod, beautifully caught, loses it. Could be costly. Harvey, look at him go! Brent Harvey! 30 metres out. This will be a sensational goal, and it is. Wonderful play from the Kangaroos, and in particular Brent Harvey, who's got his second.
I don't care who you barrack for. You have to love this player. He's just a fresh-faced young kid. There's not much of him. It just shows anybody can play the game. He's not big at all, but he cuts them apart with his pace. It was made by a brilliant tackle.
Yep.
Released Brent Harvey, and his pace and his goal sense is absolutely sensational.
We're just seeing the emergence of a genuine midfield star at the moment. Over the last 4 or 5 matches, Brent Harvey has really asserted himself. He worked incredibly hard to improve his fitness. 12 months ago, he was an opportunist in a forward pocket come half forward flank.
7-point margin. Johnson's given away a free kick. A little too tight on Peter Bell, and here he is again. Harvey out of the middle with a couple of minutes remaining. McKernan charges at the ball and has it tucked safely in his chest. The umpire went down, but just for a moment, Andrew Coates.
Was anybody around him? Anybody at all close to him?
No, he's fine.
It's been quite an impressive first turn by the Kangaroos, given that they are kicking into quite a strong bruise.
He unloads and he tries to guide it through, and I think he has.
Well, they're making short shrift of this breeze. It doesn't appear to be affecting their distance at all. That was a tremendous kick. He knows how to kick them. He knows his value when he goes forward. He doesn't go forward to rest. He goes forward to take marks and kick goals. And he's extremely difficult to match up on, particularly when he sees the ball and goes at it ferociously.
Abraham on the bench, receiving some treatment, is Winston. But the Kangaroos have kicked clear by 13 points. Burton on the ball and wins it out of the middle. It's Bell who gets it out towards Clayton. Shane Clayton gets underneath it and pops it high to half forward again. And McKernan came charging out. Johnson was there, and so too Goodwin. Got a short little kick, travelled only 15 metres. Tyson Edwards works hard. Oh, that was thrown out the back door. Blakey's going to accept it, but it was definitely a throw, and it caught his teammate unaware. Blakey could almost kick a goal here. Well, he give it to Durkay. He gives it to Durkay. Durkay will go for goal, and he kicks it.
This is powerful football. This is a powerful response from North Melbourne with the Kangaroos, particularly in the critical stage of the quarter. Time on period. How often do coaches talk about it? We're seeing the change now. Brett Bignell's coming off and Ben Marsh going in to take the ruck.
They do need a lift in that middle, Cornsey. They've been slaughtered in the last few minutes. And just look at the number of Kangaroo players swarming through the middle. The responsibility of the midfielders of the Adelaide Crows there to run into defence was certainly lacking, and they got outnumbered. Not enough pressure.
Durkay gets his 3rd goal for the season. The Kangaroos really pouring it on in the closing stages of this term. Burton's been good since coming onto the ground. Rashudo out of the middle and around the body he goes. Mick comes charging out and he thumps it clear. Harvey's there. Look at him go. The real little will-o'-the-wisp. Gives it off to the oldest man on the ground in Blakey, and a beautiful pass finds Peter Bell. He could have almost got 50 there.
Sandy, young Abraham, a sprained right ankle being strapped up now. May take further part in the game, we don't know yet.
Well, that's good that it's only a sprain and not a fracture. Bell, short to Archer, back in the lineup this week.
They're all running now, Sandy. All of those Kangaroo defenders have streamed past the centre.
Archer is almost down to centre wing and there's no one behind him. So he's kicking to a monster pack. And the biggest one of all is right in front. The Spider, Burton. Goes close to the man on the mark. Puts them well inside 50. There'll be no mark. There will be no addition to the score as Hart has the ball. It was a pretty exciting quarter of football with the Adelaide Crows flying out of the blocks with the opening couple of goals. But then the Kangaroos hit back as only they can with 7 goals. Brett Harvey leading the way with a couple. A big first term here at Football Park. The Roos are 7-3, Adelaide 4-2.
And ladies and gentlemen, the Norm Smith medalist is Andrew McLeod of Adelaide.
And Andrew McLeod certainly coming back into some form as well. As we check the quarter-time score here at Football Park, it is 7-3, the Kangaroos. They really blasted away in the latter half of that quarter. Adelaide 4-2-26.
The Coca-Cola AFL Premiership Season 2000. Proudly brought to you by Victoria Bitter. Mitsubishi Magna V6. One drive and you're hooked. McDonald's Big Mac. And Telstra. Making life easier.
6 individual goal kickers for the Kangaroos and 3 for the Adelaide Crows. There's their skipper, Mark Bickley. I'm sure Daryl Hart will have some interesting words down there on the boundary line with curls.
Yeah, thank you, Sandy. Well, Daryl, things were going okay, but all of a sudden, a couple of turnovers, bit of pace and centre clearances.
Yeah, they were very good. They capitalised on a couple of bad mistakes that we made, but that's a bit of footy and good footy by them. So as long as the boys stay at it as hard as they were early and we cut out those just a couple of silly mistakes, yeah, we're right amongst it. But it certainly was a good quarter at the start.
It's going to be hard fight back, though.
Oh, yeah, they're a good side, but we were pretty good early, so it's just a matter of kicking the ball maybe a bit longer to Rennie at times and backing him in and taking advantage of some off-hands.
See what happens. Back to you, Sandy.
Yes, and it looks like Kane Johnson has gone on to Brent Harvey. You can see it to the right of the screen there. Kane Johnson, the only player, the only Crows player in that North Melbourne bunch, and he's made a beeline for Brent Harvey. Carey and Rodbren still at centre-half, forward, centre-half back respectively.
Player that's starting to make a name for himself with the Kangaroos, Troy Makepeace, has done a good job so far on Peter Vardy across as a half-back flanker. And it's also allowed Dennis Pagan to experiment with Byron Pickett up in the forward line.
19 points is the margin as we go into the second quarter here at Football Park. Full house, cool night. But the rain staying away. There were some fairly fierce storms skirting the city earlier today. 19 points, as I said, they've got to make up. Harvey and Bell have been knocked up getting kicks in the first quarter. And Harvey in particular, look at him. Here's a real little will-o'-the-wisp. He goes wide towards Simpson, who's drifted down to left half forward. From 55 metres out, he pokes it up in towards full forward. The height at the back is McKernan, and he's got it.
Yes, and they've started McKernan in the forward pocket, and that's going to create all sorts of drama for Adelaide. Nathan Bassett has picked him up here. He's in front. He's done the right thing. Matthew Robin's left hand. He's a left-hander, not quite getting his fist to the ball. And McKernan, with that beautiful leap and great timing, just plucks the ball from the back.
Had a sensational year in '96 when he was named All-Australian. Here he is, kicking for goal now, and the blue and white flags going up at the back tell the story. He's got his second.
And just the start that Adelaide did not want, but Simpson alert, the free kick awarded to Harvey in the centre of the ground. He sprinted wide. Harvey found him. You can see the vision there. And the long kick in, right to where you want it to be if you've got big players in the forward line.
Graham, must be an absolute joy for a midfielder to look up and have a selection of Carey and McKernan on the menu. It's just bomb it up there, and it's going to make any sort of mongrel kick look good.
I just feel a little bit for Gary Ayres, though, trying to work out how does he cover both of those players in his forward line.
25 points now the margin. Burton wins it down once again. Surge forward by Harvey. He's going to get another go at it. Brent Harvey still going. This time lose it. Well done by Costa. Worked his stomach out then and did really well. Ironically, it comes back to Harvey. He looks toward the forward guns. And if it's not Corey, it is Carey.
Well, McKernan in front of the pack, held the pack back, and that looked where the contest was going to be. But Carey's judgment is tremendous. Works to the front. Matthew Robin again not able to get to it with that left hand.
Carey kicking for his second from 42 metres. And the Kangaroos are really threatening here at Football Park. 2 goals to Carey, 2 to Harvey, 2 to McKernan, and suddenly we're out to a 31-point deficit.
Yes, it's a very dangerous break now, Sandy, and It's just interesting to watch the two tools work in tandem. I've noticed it down at Geelong a number of times, and I'm sure their coach in Mark Thompson has learnt this manoeuvre. As Graham rightly pointed out, whoever's in front just holds the pack up, and then the next tool comes from behind to take a relatively easy mark.
31 points the margin.
Sean ran into the ruck, Sandy.
Up against Burton. They've got to do something, and they've got to do it quickly again. Burton got a hand to it. Simpson takes the hand pass, and he goes to the big spider. Look at the skills of this huge man. Brilliant stuff. Gives it away to Peter Bell. And ring my bell, he says. As he goes to full forward, Carey drops what he should have taken, but he still kicked the goal.
Oh, this is powerful football, and Wayne Carey, I don't think it was all that easy, Sandy, to take it. I know it hit him on the chest, but when it cleared the man in front, you don't have quite enough time to look at it. Just look at Burton here. Controls it.
Oh, I love it.
Deft evasion, and Bell, no mistake what he's going to do. He's just going long to the goal square. Carey forces it over, but so alert, so mobile for a big man. And when Robbins had started to threaten the first part of this game, Carey has fought back and is completely on top of his contest at the moment.
The reigning champions are turning it on here at Football Park at the moment.
And all the Kangaroos midfield are starting behind the bounce.
Burton won it, but Beckley takes it out of the centre. They want a couple of sharp goals to come back into this, but McCartney holds it up with a fine defensive mark. He chips this, and he's put pressure on his teammate there. Welsh also tries to chip. He goes short. Wanted Peter Vardy. Vardy's got to beat a couple. Archer was at the bottom. Thrown out the back now and pushed towards the line in front of Stengline and producing a throw-in.
Sandy, there was a fair indication of the Kangaroos' approach to this game with the vibration coming out of the door before the match. They were really steamed up inside that room.
Well, when you're coming off a 10-goal loss and you're the defending champions, something's got to give. Burton and Wren, Clayton around the body, Motlop and Costa almost collide, and it's Goodwin over the line. (26 plays 63). With the Kangaroos booting 3 goals really in the opening 3 minutes of this second term, threatening to blow it apart. They're heading towards Carey territory once again, and also this man. They were both there, but it was Corey who came in from the side, and he goes with a long bomb. Carey's got down there. He doesn't drop that, and he makes it look easy.
Well, it wasn't easy because he had to think, he had to be alert, and then he had to work. He was at that contest.
It wasn't, but he makes it look easy, Graham. He makes it look easy.
He was at the contest. If you look, there he is there. McKernan this time drifting across the front of the pack. Carey's gone. There's not much time elapsed. He gets the boot on the ball quickly, and the ball will find Carey.
It's a lot easier when you got the ability of Carey.
Just sensational to watch. Well, I don't think it would matter who you barrack for, unless maybe it's the Adelaide Crows. You would have to enjoy this exhibition being turned on by the Kangaroos at the minute.
The crowd aren't happy, Sandy.
Well, that's because they're basically Crows, Graham, and neither are you. You should go back with the rock and roll all-stars and get that rhythm guitar going, because the Crows need something. Here's Rashudo, the Roo. Clayton's got his eye on it. Stengline was the spoiler. Clayton goes again. Gee, he does well. He needs support from King. They're going to be outnumbered. Bickley should get clear. Smart's gone a little quiet. Mind you, he's not the only one in this second quarter. The Roos have had all the answers, haven't they? Blakey round the body. He bends it back towards the line. Kingy will see it over. He's pretty clever at this. No. Eventually to Mickey Martin. And Martin from half-back. Looks towards half-forward. Looks towards Carey. Ball drops short over the head of Harvey and into the arms of Kane Johnson. Johnson going in towards Goodwin. They're now playing catch-up footy, though, for the rest of the night. Wider to Tyson Edwards. Burton's on the ground. He will certainly add some spark in that forward line. Jarman is there too, and Bassett down in the forward line. Here's a chance for Goodwin. He's a left footer, and he kicks it to Glenn Archer.
Just a little bit too much. Panic is probably not the right word, but Adelaide just too hurried and the Kangaroos just too composed. The point about the crowd not liking Carey, Sandy, after that exchange with Rodman, they were intent to boo him. They wanted to boo him, but he's silenced them in the most emphatic way.
Which, incidentally, looked worse than it was, Graham, in your words.
Yes, no,
magnificent words too, Graham. As Johnson goes in towards full forward, going to be chopped off by Archer. Well, he dropped it, and Welch has kicked it behind.
Sandy, you said they're playing catch-up footy for the rest of the evening. With that in mind, Graham, would you continue to have McLeod at full back picking up Gary Durko?
No, I think there's a time where in any game where you move Andrew McLeod into the middle, and they've been leaving it till the last quarter, but the last quarter will be too late.
That is great play by Burton to affect the spoil of Wren, who's still picking himself up. Meantime, Motlop's 40 metres away, down towards full forward. Where are the speedsters? Look out, Shannon Grant. Hart, you've got it there. You're going to have to beat Grant. And he does. He gives it away to Nigel Smart. Has Goodwin running for him, but elects to go to Robran. Wide on the outer side. He's away from Carey.
Well, that run from defence has been a key ingredient in their wins, their last 3 wins, the Adelaide Crows, and it's just been stilted somewhat. They need to get it regenerated.
Costa towards Burton.
It's a very good mark for the young fella coming back. His confidence hasn't been great. In front, strong grab.
60 metres out, doesn't go for goal. It's a more centering kick for Jarman. Normally you'd expect him to hold that. He didn't on that occasion. It's locked up by Archer for the moment. He's got plenty of supporters though. McCartney, you're gone. Oh, Burton tackled him like a lion.
That was a great tackle.
It was a beauty.
Just a comparison of the Kangaroos kicking the ball long, making it nice and simple, and having a number of guys down there being able to take contested marks. Whereas in the Adelaide Crows forward 50, really struggling to find somebody who can do that.
An important ball up here. Burton is also well claimed.
They've punished him there. The tackle on McCartney was good, and a couple of Kangaroos players just giving a little bit
eye for an eye.
His own back there.
How smart do you see this move of Pagans drawing McLeod right back into the back goal square?
Well, it cuts out any creative attack from Andrew McLeod, Curls.
Clayton put under the pump, and the Crows are able to still hold it up here. They've got to try and take advantage. Johnson and Burton. This is Burton. He's from 53 metres. Burton's kick ran backs into the pack. Couldn't take the mark, but at the back, Welch has done it. Scott Welch gets his first, and Adelaide's first for the second quarter.
And Brett Burton keen to get in the action. He's been missing. The crowd have missed him.
Good.
Hunts the ball, hounds it, sees the goal is open. Now watch Sean Wren get back here. He runs back with it, doesn't hold it, but makes the contest, and Welsh, sharp, alert, grabbed it, converted. Well done, Burton. Well done, Wren. Well done, Welsh.
Kim Costa on the phone to the coach. He's receiving a few instructions.
He has been on Brent Harvey for some of the game, so
good luck. Johnson out of the middle for the Crows. Down by 6 goals to half 4. Crow fans again not happy. Blakey socketed out of the hands and then went after it again, and he's got it now on half back. Looks towards centre wing. Looks towards McKernan.
Oh, no, come on.
To be interfered with.
Well, the interference there was nowhere near as savage as the Martin interference on Perry.
Have a look at it in replay. Here's McKernan putting them inside 50 in towards Carey and co. Rashudo waiting down in front of the pack, but he couldn't take it cleanly. King loves a dash, and he's got it now. He bends it back. Edwards is on the last line of defence. Tyson Edwards runs it out to McLeod, who, as Curl said, is tucked away in that back pocket. Smart is on the half-back flank. Penetrating hand pass. He's given it to the big man in Sean Wren. Needs support and gets it from Goodwin. Kicks in towards right half forward and has got Peter Vardy. Still a long way out. Vardy chooses to go short because Goodwin had followed play down. He now goes to the square. Archer is there. Right. Welch is there. And the Birdman is there. But he can't take it. And one behind is the result.
Better signs though, Sam. He got that run out of the defensive area, and the Birdman starting to do some leaping and some effective tackling, aggression up forward, but they just got to get a couple of goals in a row here, the Crows. You wouldn't want to go in at half-time 6 goals down against the reigning premiers.
To the outer side. Smart is the effective spoiler. Bickley waiting down, gets away from McMartin, goes into the pocket. Crows have the Roos have the numbers though, and Troy Makepeace is doing pretty well on the last line of defence. Goes to Simpson, couldn't take it initially, needs support and gets it. Look at the teamwork of this outfit. Just magnificent to watch on the outer side. Dashing David King, looks inside 50, looks towards Carey. Great use of the body. One grab, almost gets it. They pounce on him.
He went after it, didn't he?
Oh, unbelievably. He will eventually pick himself up as Hart clears and finds his teammate on this side of the ground in Nathan Bassett.
Well, it was Andrew McLeod who picked him up, Sandy.
Very nice of him too. Rashudo.
Pickett.
Right half forward.
That's kamikaze stuff, that.
Oh.
Yeah, well, he's renowned for it. And I just wonder how his game has been affected by some of these new charging rules.
He's had a dead set crack at Bob Beeman's long jump record. In fact, I think Carl Lewis may have it now.
Here's Gallagher. He's away to the left and sadly away.
Didn't mean to excite Bruce listening at home, but I reckon Carl Lewis has got the record.
Mike Powell, I think you'll find.
Oh, okay.
Back to the AFL now, and we'll have more track and field news later. Pike gives it off to Burton.
It's not a great string.
Built like a praying mantis, he cruises to Corey McKernan.
That's a very good football brain, though, Burton.
And he kicks it in towards the middle of the ground. That's a poor kick, and he knows it. It drops onto the chest of Rashudo. And Tyson Edwards breaks free. He's on centre wing. Crows wanting a couple more. Pretty quick. But they've steadied the ship. They've stopped the run, and that's the important thing. Edwards towards right half forward. An effective spoil by McCartney is very good. Gallagher on the ground, adds a little zip, but he gets claimed. Motlop, Johnson, pushed wide. Bassett tries to get it back to Johnson. Oh, they gang tackle him. Could have been taken high. The umpire says play on, and he finds Welsh.
Well, looked like a couple of free kicks in there that could have gone to the Adelaide Crows. Yeah. Excuse me, the only suggestion would have been, was there a duck? But Kane Johnson doing very well.
Welsh plays on and kicks the goal. They're coming back.
There's an effort by Troy Makepeace in here which should have been rewarded. He's impressed me greatly. You might see it in the replay. His desperation didn't go rewarded because there it is there. Great tackle. But Adelaide gets the ball. A good position of the body by Scott Welsh. Johnson shrugs the tackle, stands tall, just bumps Archer off balance, grabs the ball as it goes past, and as we speak, Shannon Motlop coming off, and it looks like David Calthorpe coming off his first run.
Gallagher looks as if he's added just a little bit of pace too to this Crows side, but it's in the middle that they've got to regenerate some form.
Rashudo goes to half forward, taken away by Martin again, heads to the outer side. Scholl needs a kind bounce, and he does. First one way, then the other. Looks towards right half forward. The Kangaroos now looking for the answering goal. Look at Carey. Robran, equally as efficient, gets it out towards Rashudo. Gallagher's got a chase. Carey, look at this. Inside 50, good little kick, but a smashing spoil. Who's going to be first to recover? Gallagher goes to ground, loses it to Johnson. He's able to give it away, and they push it over the line, forcing a throw-in.
Sandy, I was just observing the movement of Craig Scholl. When Mick Martin got the ball and he was facing the Crows' goal, Craig Scholl bolted to the outer wing. After having played with him probably for more than half his life going through the under-19s, he knew exactly what Mickey was going to do, and that was belted on the boot, heading towards the boundary line.
Scholl around the body. Oh, they all get a bad bounce. Smart on the very last line. Durkay was almost set there. Gives it to Wren. Wren goes further afield to Johnson. Johnson, an interesting little kick. It's okay. Finds Gallagher.
It's been good since he's come out.
Call to play on. He's going to have to be quick.
That is a great tackle. That's what coaches love to see. Forward line players running down opposition back line players.
Oh, he's undone maybe the work though, Durkay. They might get out of it yet. From a standing start, Simpson goes long in towards full forward. Big pack of players round the body. And one behind.
Abraham back on, boys.
Byron Pickett, Jerry, did you prefer to see him in attack or in defence?
Well, I think that it's been a move forced upon Dennis Pagan because he's been such an attacking defender that other clubs have been isolating him and they have been getting some goals.
Nigel Smart and Johnson eventually combine to Hart. They get it down towards centre wing. Kicks right on the line. Stengline keeps it in. He goes short, and that's okay. He's got Bickley.
But just to finish that, he's such a vital player at both ends of the ground. It's just, I guess, a continuation of his education as a player.
Bickley puts them inside 50. Blakey was waiting down, anticipating that. Gave it to Simpson. Hart got an awful bounce. Wren now may have to chase here because look at Winston Abraham. Back and in the thick of things, he kicks it over the centre, and that's okay. Shannon Grant is away. Looks to full forward. Spears the pass to McKernan, who really just has a casual look around as if to say, where is the opponent?
Yeah, the intent is to play on at all costs. There's no point going back for your kick, and Shannon Grant does that, and with the deception that most left footers have got, he's able to avoid the man on the mark. And I don't know why McKernan was by himself, but it was a magnificent pass. He did not have to move. It virtually hit him at eye level. All he had to do was put his hands up.
Kicking for number 3. Got one in the first term, one earlier this quarter. Corey McKernan.
He's in form.
He's in great form. That's number 3.
It would be the best game I've seen Corey play for certainly this year, Sandy, and he is really producing a big one here at Footy Park. And I imagine the challenge would have been laid down to all the Kangaroos throughout the week. They haven't been in great form, even though they've been winning, and I guess their percentage, their low percentage, has reflected that. Fell in against the Swans, fell in against St Kilda, had a pretty good win against the Collingwood side without being absolutely brilliant. But this has been just a powerful performance so far as we head towards the half-time break, still 6 minutes away.
I think you had a few more Kangaroo names to that list too, Jared.
Oh, this is a great team effort to date, Curls.
36 points the margin. McKernan tried to flick it over the back. No one there. Wren tries to get it out. Some solid work then, too, by Rashudo. Down towards the forward line over the head of McCartney. Biglands, can the big man get clear? Gets boot to ball. He wobbles it to full forward, and the diving mark by Jarman.
Once again, it was started by some outstanding work in the middle by Sean Wren. If there was a positive to be found out of their position so far in this game, Graham, and it would be the form of the big man.
Both at centre-half forward, but they've had to move him by necessity into the centre, and against McKernan there, he was able to release Bickley.
He just looks to be moving without that mental impediment of the knee reconstruction.
Jarman for number 3. It's easy for him.
Well, there's a very, very good piece of work by Wren and Bickley. We've got the ball forward. You'll see Archer absolutely destroy the pack with a magnificent spoil. Just watch the strength. And he goes after it again. Biglands is just able to shrug him. Not completely shrug him, but he got boots of ball. And Jarman, whilst he ducked his head, had enough alertness to grab it on the second grab.
Three goals to Jarman.
It looks like McLeod is going to come off half back and go into the middle.
Edwards gone to the back pocket.
Wren appeared to cop one too out of that altercation, but it looks as though he's okay. He contested and contested pretty well. Gee, Gallagher's a real little terrier too. Smart was in there. There's Wren again. Does really well. Martin tries to spoil. Blakey's at the back. He'll sock off the ground.
Too big. Nope.
No, perfect. Just inside the line for a throw in.
So he's got 5 minutes and 50 seconds, Andrew McLeod, along with Sean Wren, to see if they can have a big impact. And Wren looks like he's going all the way now with McKernan, even into the fence.
Well, 5 goals in today's game is not a lot, and Rashudo might even lessen that now as he goes long in towards full forward. Smashed away by Archer from Welch. They'll both go again, and it's eventually socked over the line for behind.
It was a good kick from Rashudo, but Glenn Archer
just too strong.
I cannot think of a person you'd rather stand less than Glenn Archer in defence.
I'd rather fight sharks.
Makepeace and Pike combined. Calthorpe's on the other side.
Mind you, a toss-up between him and Mick Martin too, I'd imagine, Kills.
No, I think Glenn's got a bit more aggression at the ball than even Mighty Mick.
Shannon Grant's on the outer side. Looks towards the middle. McKernan, Robran and co. There's a big pack of players. Burton, Almost tripped. Burton goes again. Carey hot on his hammer along with McMartin. And Dennis giving that gum perhaps just a little more of a workout than he was 15 minutes ago.
Well, he realises the game is not out of reach. He hasn't put this game away yet. Within 5 goals, as we saw last night, you've always got a chance.
Harvey and Bell, look at them go. He swings around on a wide arc and he spears a beautiful pass in. They've got to try and keep it to only 5 at the moment, otherwise they could be in real trouble. Carey, look at the use of the body.
He's robbed.
Durkay steals it, gives it away. Scholl in all sorts of bother. Back to Durkay from a standing start. Heads for goal. One behind.
That was pretty close to a mark by Carey, wasn't it?
Just didn't control it on the third grab. Just here it is again. Comes over. First, second, third.
I think he had it covered. It was just that
Durkay.
Durkay took it off.
Get away from it.
Oh, you can't blame the kid for having a crack at it. You see the ball, grab it.
When your mate's going to mark the damn thing.
But curious if it's coming off hands.
Oh, sorry boys to interrupt, but Stengline's going to be under the pump here. Behind the boundary line, his teammates will be saying, and they do, as Byron Pickett came steaming in at 100 kilometres an hour to try and keep it in.
It was a good contest.
Danger period now as McKernan plucks it out of the air, but the kick was partly smothered. The Crows can't afford to let them get any more. Johnson wanted the boundary line, not far enough, kept in by Shannon Grant. He bends it back. This is dangerous. Good spoiled by Smart. Wren's hand pass wide, but it's going to be okay. Chipped by Bickley towards Rashudo. Rashudo looks down the ground now. Oh, here's danger now for the Kangaroos. The mark taken by Bicklands, still a long way from home. Jarman and co are waiting down. So too is Vardy, a little too far for him. And cut off by the dashing Burton as he sprints away. Kicks towards the middle, and the kick was good, finding Simpson.
Yes, and
Off to Clayton. Sorry, Cornsey. Thought you had your plectrum in your mouth for a moment. Back to Shannon Grant. Grant 70 metres out. Chip over the top. Calthorpe takes the mark inside 50. Now, Grant.
Darren Jarman just looking at Brett Biglands to say, I was leading, I had space. Why would you kick it to Peter Vardy when he's opposed to Big Spider Burton? It's been turned over, and Calthorpe, as he's been able to do since moving down from Brisbane, finding space and having a crack at the goals.
8 goals too, but he's not confident. So he spears a pass to Shannon Grant, who's a little closer and directly in front.
Sandy, that's what I say. At this stage, sitting down here, there's no question that the Kangaroo boys are working harder. They're covering more ground and they're backing up and supporting each other better.
Yeah, they're just not getting back into defence quickly enough, Curls, when there's a turnover across their half-forward line, the Crows, and being exposed pretty badly.
That's correct.
Peter Vardy paying the price.
Shannon Grant from 48 metres, slight breeze at his back, and a slight kick away to the left.
Peter Vardy paying the price for not making a stronger contest when that ball came from Biglands, and Brian Binky taking his spot. Peter Vardy to the bench.
30 points the difference. Edwards kick out again. He flirts with danger. Gallagher doesn't let him down, but he goes to the outer side, and that's fine. Finding Goodwin.
Because I think one of the other issues is that Matthew Robin's got to somehow get some ascendancy back on Wayne Carey and start running forward. I know it's easier said than done.
Gee, Blakey went early.
Yeah, Wayne's taking him down deeper.
That's right.
And it's sort of lessening that chance of that happening. And of course, Wayne body to body is too strong.
Binky gets the free kick, goes to half.
Oh, you can't do that. You can't do that.
Curls, I'm afraid they have, but Jarman will kick it. Oh, he's missed.
Well, the handball should have been on twice.
One behind.
Yes, it's in his, should he handball here? There's a bit of a push here. That's what Curls was complaining about. But Crows had numbers, and Darren Jarman, look, I think that's fair enough. He's got a good look at the goals. Yeah. He's a great goal kicker. He just didn't execute.
Make peace again. To the outer side. Burton out the back to Simpson is fantastic play. Off he goes to Blakey. Blakey kicks in towards the middle. Hart is an effective spoiler from behind. Look at the tackle on Burton. They gang tackle him, but one of them was a fraction high.
Yeah, it was good attack on the footy too by Brett Burton. He obviously is keen to make a point.
Well, good football all round, actually. Just the tackle was a bit high.
McLeod caught. The tackling is just fantastic from both sides. Burton taken out of it this time. Scholl gets the chance to give it to Harvey. He's taken to ground. Burton another opportunity on the outer side. What an important couple of minutes. Goodwin recovers well. Kicks towards the left half forward. Goes past Binky Bell and Co. And we've got a throw in. Not Blinky Bill, Binky Bell and Co.
And just a slight fault with the Crows game at the moment. They are just bringing the ball too wide into their forward line. They have to work back through that centre corridor.
Under a minute remaining in the half. Burton too much height, trying to find Simpson. Not successful on the first occasion. Okay for the second. Pushed wide to the outer wing. And almost stolen by Goodwin. In fact, it was in the end. Gallagher takes it. An opportunity now for the Crows. Rashudo looks to half forward. Biglands is his target. Can't take the mark. The big man plays on. And Makepeace comes steaming out for the Kangaroos. Does well, pushing it back towards the centre. It can be slapped towards centre wing by Clayton. He recovers beautifully, takes out Stingline, kicks in towards the middle, and Abraham. Winston, you did think about going. You definitely thought about it. Now he goes back, long in towards half forward. Mark not taken by McKernan. Calthorpe in and out very, very quickly. Smart pounces over the top. Burton gets caught. He can't get the hand pass away. They let it go on. The ball passes Abraham. Hart dashes clear. But there's the siren. And thank heaven some of those players say, because this has been a tough, hard first half here at Football Park. And you can tell by looking at the players, they are plumb tuckered, some of them, Gerald.
Yeah, they ran themselves ragged. It was a pretty impressive start to the quarter by the Kangaroos. Crows fought back quite well, but robbing Sean Wren of his presence in the forward line got them into the match, but they couldn't convert.
78 plays 48, a long break.
Ball, Tigers a chance.
Players have left the arena, but it's pelting down here at Football Park, and that's going to make Adelaide's job even harder of coming back. At half-time, the Kangaroos 12-6-78, Adelaide 7-6-48. Round 9 is a fantastic round, and it is continuing with another game being played as we speak. That is between Richmond and the West Coast Eagles. Before we go any further, let's have a look at some of the highlights of the first half.
Tigers a chance to score. Gathered by Rogers, back to Knights. Knights into the pocket, good.
They need someone like Ben Holland to stand up here.
Well, a chance for the Tigers' first goal. Ben Holland kicking all the way. Goal to Richmond. Josh Wooten, who came into this side at the expense of David Warapunda.
Well, can Matera make Bowden hurt? Let's have a look at the pass. It's not bad. So they've also got 4 of their top players out. That time, no mistake.
Looked maybe to bounce, but then decided to go long. Kicked in the direction of Gardner. He judged it awfully. Hand pass away. King was on the receiving end of the Bitterscombe handball. Vardy, well done. Good kick too. Puts a lot of pressure back there on the Eagles' defence. Rogers off the ground, has kicked a goal.
Oh, dangerous handball. Reid, he just gave it to Simmons, who did pretty well in the end just to get boot to ball. Holland was courageous. That was just hurled out of the pack. Vardy, creative. Knights, usually penetrating. Good kick. Good kick. Otten should goal from here, and does. Good kick. And the Tigers extend their lead.
In close, Duncan Callaway kicks it forward. Dragicevic made a contest out of it. Still Dragicevic. Left foot snapshot for goal. Brings the house down at Colonial. The ball at ground level mopped up by the Tigers. Tivendale to the playmaker in Knights. Knights out wide. Terrific kick again. So this to just stretch the lead to nearly 4 goals. He kicks and kicks beautifully. Kicks beautifully for a goal.
Nothing really through centre half forward. Again, the numbers with Richmond. Tawney caught. Well tackled Peter Matera. Braun, can he just create a goal? He handballs. It was tough for Philip Matera. This would be a great goal. It was. A great kick under pressure.
Some of the action from Colonial and the clash between Richmond and the West Coast Eagles. Some of you taking a replay of the game later on. If you don't want to know the score, look away now, because here it comes. We're going to take a break. More shortly from Football Park. Yep. Scotty, can you hear me, mate?
Alexander, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, Scotty, and you?
Good. Hawthorn,
what have you got, my boy?
We'll start off with Hawthorn in shock tonight. Paul Salmon's been reported for striking for the first time in 94 matches.
Shit, right.
But he's got some serious offences behind him, wasting time and a few others, Sandy.
Right.
Dicker's come out with a 6-point plan for the future of the competition at AFL request. Right. He wants a 30-match season. A bit on Peter Schwab and a bit on Mark Thompson.
Yes.
Then there's Ducks and Drakes, intense drama over tomorrow's game at the MCG between Essendon and Melbourne. The Bombers pulled out 2 players from their reserve side today, Dean Wallace and Danny Jacobs. And it could be that Blumfield and Dustin Fletcher could be out. Meanwhile, Melbourne trained today with Farmer getting through but still doubtful, and Jeff White okay. Bulldog Simon Cox in surgery tonight, having a steel plate in 2 breaks in his forearm. But Todd Curley got through a scan today with his jarred knee. You right?
Yep, no worries, my boy.
The commission meet in Sydney tomorrow about Ian Collins' position. Now, Greg Miller is in Perth. Cameron Swab's here. They're in Sydney. It could be decided one way or the other. If the clubs get their way, it'll be Miller. If the corporate people get their way, it'll be Swab.
Geez, that'd be interesting, wouldn't it?
Yeah. And the last one is
mate.
Timmy Watson's signal today that Spider Everett could be the future captain of St Kilda.
Yeah, it appears to be nice if we win a game first.
That's right.
Mate, the other thing too is just remember We do have this 3-second delay, so don't worry about if there's a bit of a pause, mate.
Okay, mate.
Okay.
3-second delay.
I don't know whether he's talking to you. Yep.
I'd be biased there, son.
Put me in the centre of the frame.
You're looking magnificent, Scotty.
Thanks, mate.
Magnificent.
And how are things over there?
Yes, very good. Actually, the big whisper here, and I'll mention it, but the whisper here is that Fletcher's definitely out of that Essendon lineup.
Yes, yes. The Ducks, they're calling it Ducks and Drakes over here, Sandy.
Righto, righto.
Yeah.
Bloody weather over here. The weather here is good for ducks and drakes at the minute.
It's always raining over there now.
£30 points is the margin here at Football Park as the rain continues to fall. Ironically, it started just as the players were going in for the half-time break, and hopefully it will clear when they come out for the second half. It's going to be a big ask, though, for Adelaide now to come back in these conditions, down by 5 goals. Certainly plenty of news surrounding round 9 and footy at the moment. Let's find out what's making news behind it all. And, of course, the man behind it is Scott Palmer of the Sunday Herald Sun, taking time out from working feverishly. Scotty,
right.
First up, Hawthorn, a big win today. Great club win, but I believe they're still in shock over Paul Salmon.
Totally in shock. 294 games it's taken for Paul Salmon to be reported for striking, Sandy. He got it today at the MCG. He's been reported before for serious offences, wasting time, participating in a melee, but this is the first time he's actually reported for striking. Jason Mooney, Monday night, he'll have to front the tribunal.
Yeah,
It looked like a shepherd to me.
Yeah, well, they'll sort it out on Monday night. While he was doing that, his club president was giving out his plans for, well, a plan for the future of footy.
At league request too, yeah, as he put forward a 6-point plan, Ian Dicker. He believes that there should be 30 games played in a season. That'll suit you, Sandy, travelling all around the place. But he said we don't
suit the players too, won't it?
He will appease the players' union by shortening the games. He wants Hawthorn to play all their home games at the MCG on a Saturday arvo or Saturday night, Sandy. It's part of the league's position to get all the views in for all the presidents. So Ian Dicker gave his today.
Righto, well, let's get back to on-field stuff. What about the coaches today, Peter Schwab and Mark Thompson?
Absolutely delighted with Nick Holland today, 13 marks. It was a good win by the Hawks. They responded when Geelong really came at them in the last quarter, and he was very pleased with that fight back. Although Daniel Chick has got a bad ankle injury, they're calling it rolled at the moment, but there's some suspicion that it might be worse than that, Sandy. And the Cats' Mark Thompson said that the bad signs of last week were there, but until half-time. But the Cats came good, very, very positive. He would have loved to have had Ronnie Burns feeding off those big forwards today because there were no crummers at all for Geelong.
Scotty, I know you're a computer whiz and hopefully you haven't got the I love you bug, but I believe there is another thing sweeping Victoria at the moment concerning tomorrow's game between Essendon and Melbourne, and it is a thing called Ducks and Drakes.
Ducks and Drakes. Kevin Sheedy's playing Ducks and Drakes with everyone, Sandy. He pulled out 2 players today from the VFL reserve side, Essendon. That's Dean Wallace, one of his favourite players, and young Danny Jacobs, suggesting that there'll be 2 major changes in that Essendon side to play Melbourne at the MCG tomorrow. Now, where's...
Well, Scotty.
Yep.
Scotty,
Yes.
I've heard a whisper here, and it's sweeping Football Park. One of those players out that could be out is Dustin Fletcher.
Well, that's one of the names we've heard too, Sandy, with a groin injury, and also Justin Blumfield with a hip soreness. Melbourne are alert to the fact. They trained this morning, Sandy, and there's big conjecture, of course, over Jeff Farmer. He got through okay, but there's still a line ball whether they'll risk him or not. Jeff White, who's had the stretch fracture, fresh strains of the shin, he got through, he'll play for sure.
You're talking about injuries there, Scotty. Let's turn our attention to the Western Bulldogs because a couple of boys certainly came off second best.
Yeah, Simon Cox entered hospital tonight, a steel plate in his left forearm, 2 breaks in the arm, Sandy, bad luck. He'll miss 6 to 8 weeks. But I tell you what, Todd Curley had a jarred knee after that match last night, and they had very doubts about it. And but scans today suggested that it's the remnants of an old injury. He'll miss 1, but be back in action.
And the other news, of course, in football at corporate level concerns the Commission. They've got a decision to make, and I believe now, Scotty, they're very close to making that decision.
They're in Sydney. Greg Miller, the #1 candidate's in Perth, and Cameron Swab, I spoke to tonight's in Melbourne. Now, it'll be decided over the weekend, Sandy, which of those 2 boys take over Ian Collins' nuts and bolts job down at the AFL. I think if the clubs had their opinion, Greg Miller would get it. If they're looking for a more corporate strategist and so forth, Cameron Swab could step up. So it's going to be a very tight battle over the next couple of days, decided in Sydney.
Scotty, in closing, jump off the fence. Who's going to get it?
Greg Miller.
Thank you very much, Scott Palmer, and keep punching. Scotty Palmer there from the Sunday Herald Sun. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with the second half here at Football Park. The rain has cleared. That's the good news.
They need someone at ground level. Jarman with a bit of magic. Bounces through.
Around he wheels, 46 metres out, low, he stabs it in towards goal. There is Mr. Jarman at work.
Pounced on it, goes short into the pocket, finds Jarman, speak of the devil, quick snap around the corner. Magnificent kick by Jarman.
No mark taken, ball spills towards Colliker. Look at this is classical football. Write it down, say goodnight and kick a goal, Darren Jarman.
Tries to find his teammate there, and Jarman does well. Rolls the shoulders and kicks a goal. Magnificent play by Darren Jarman.
Now some 205 games behind him. Darren Jarman at work, and here he is now already tonight. He's booted 3 goals, having started on the bench. It's going to be very interesting, Curls. Incidentally, when the two sides left at half-time, the free kicks, I know you'll be interested in this, 9-4 in favour of the Kangaroos. But the Crows aren't out of it. If they get the first couple of goals quickly in this quarter, we've got a real ball game.
Well, if that does happen, yes, there would be a real ball game, Sandy, but I just can't see it happening tonight. Look, this Kangaroo outfit, they are really switched on tonight. They're playing very, very well. We have a bit of a wet ground now for a while. We had some heavy rain during the break. And the Kangaroos are a very, very good ground level side. Look, for the Crows to get back into the game, that means the Kangaroo boys would have to drop their guard, become a bit sloppy, make a few errors and back off. I can't see them doing that. I think they're too professional. I think Dennis Pagan would have drilled it into it at half-time. Stay in there. There's another half a footy to go. Be strong, be aggressive, back up like it did in the first half. And I think they'll do that. Now, if that happens, I cannot see the Crows getting back in this game. But as we all know, footy is a funny game.
And a very, very heavy shower at half-time. The wind has dropped. Burton is starting in the ruck for this second half up against Sean Wren. Let's see what happens. Wren went for a roundhouse right and missed it. Bickley kicks it down towards McLeod on the forward line. The elusive Mr. McLeod wobbles it just inside 50. Burton gets a B-grade bounce and gets pounced upon. They'll clear again as Makepeace takes the hand pass and comes to Simpson. Simpson looks towards a right half forward. Carey tucks it into his chest.
He's already got 4 goals, Carey, and it just looks like his pace is worrying Robberman as much as anything. And I just wonder, Graham, whether you might think that Ben Hart could do a job on Wayne Carey and just match him for pace.
Well, particularly as the Crows have been forced to play Brett Burton at centre-half forward, and Matthew Robin has played very well there. It wouldn't be a bad choice to get Robin to centre-half forward. Or else Robin has to start attacking again. Carey's been able to restrict him from doing that.
Burton lost front position. Bassett almost lost the ball.
Between them, Corey and Carey have got 7 goals and 12 marks. It's been obviously one of the great differences between the two sides, their ability to grab the ball and mark the ball near goal. But it does appear as if Robin just can't go with him in the pace department.
Bickley ripped to the ground. Harvey, he's so dangerous in front of goal, isn't he? And what a start to this second half by Brent Harvey.
Well, Adelaide needed the first goal, but Brent Harvey again, and every time he comes to Football Park, he does something special. It was pretty straightforward as a crumbing goal. Tap over the back, the ball came to him, he pounced on it, but he knows where the goals are. His confidence grows with every game, and that probably puts the nail in the Crows' coffin. I know there's still nearly two quarters to go.
That is a very early call.
But 6 goals in these sort of conditions are going to be very hard to make up.
And the wind has dropped. There is no wind at all at the moment.
So thanks for your support, girls.
What was that?
Thanks for your support.
We'll let you old Crows just battle it out between you. Let's get back on with the game. Rashudo, the tackle was good, but the ball spills free. The little men, in particular Bell and Harvey, just ripping them to bits in the middle. Clayton goes long in towards Carey and co. He tried to get at the back. Hart was waiting down in front. Robin's claim could have almost been shoved. Carey's got him locked up.
I think what we're seeing here, Stanley, too, is we have a group of players that are prepared to make things happen, that being the Kangaroos. We've got another group that are just hoping it'll happen.
Well, I don't think there's any doubt the North Melbourne players are the most professional in the competition.
Rashudo wants the boundary line. Calthorpe won't get there.
Kevin Sheedy might argue with that.
No, I think there's a thing called flair, and with Sheedy, they work hard, there's no doubt about it, but I think in terms of professionalism and extracting the maximum from a team, I really think Dennis Pagan does that better than any.
Throw in front of the scoreboard here at Football Park. Wren and Burton. The latter got a hand to it. Johnson almost gave away a free kick. Flicked in towards Carey, and at the back is Bickley. Carey taken out of it. Bickley wants the boundary line. Dangerous! Hart. Beaten. They're not out of it yet. Johnson. Proper little hand pass. It's going to be okay. Eventually Biglands will come away.
That's a magnificent kick.
Finding Bassett. He plays on wide to Rashudo. The Roo is on centre wing. Robran has left Carey and drifted down towards left half forward. He elects to be a little more direct. He's got Gallagher. Gallagher into half forward. Tyson Edwards could just about have a shot from 52 metres. Very little breeze. What there is at his back. It's away to the right. It's one behind.
Well, that's going to help Adelaide if they can get their defenders, as Edwards and Robran have done there, just to run and attack, create the options. It just puts a little bit of doubt in the Kangaroos' minds, and if they can use those players.
The make-piece kick out was good. It finds Harvey. Blakey's calling for it wide and long. He heads towards the veteran, who got front spot over McLeod and did very well to take a fine mark. This ground is slippery because we had a very heavy shower during the half-time break. Yet amazingly, it stopped as soon as the players came out for the second half. Motlop and Smart grappling with it. Calthorpe, a typical rugby scrum, trying to surge it forward, probably gains 4 or 5 metres.
The inclusion of Spider Burton in this side really does give Dennis Pagan some good forward options.
It's been an excellent performance by him when you consider Capuano is taken out of the lineup. Harvey and Bell, just sensational. The pair combined. Look out, Clayton. Just about gone. Shannon Grant inside 50. Burton sprints to the square. Carey is lurking in the forward line. It's very open for Burton if he wants to try and go all the way. Wren is there as well, dropping back on him now. Motlop down there with Gallagher.
Shannon Grant's a good enough kick to have a crack at this, Sandy, I'd say.
Well, there's no breeze whatsoever.
The seventh lead, short. It's the 7th lead Carey is given.
And it was a brilliant pass as well. It had to be spot on, and that was absolutely a class A.
I think what happens, you talk about the 7th lead kills, but they all move into that space, and if he waits long enough, they clear the space, and Carey then runs into it. I don't know how often they practice that at training. They don't have their lock sessions there, do they?
No. Well, they do, but it's very difficult to keep them from jumping over the fence.
Yes.
Yeah, the viewers couldn't see it, but he led, he back led, he forward led.
Carey for number 5 curls. Goal umpire doesn't have a lot of movement. He doesn't need it because Carey's got it.
Well, Shannon Grant is an alert footballer. A young man, played a lot of football, had the kick from 50 and deliberated, and the kick off the boot into the space. You can see that area was left or vacated eventually by the Kangaroos players. And it's not a convincing conversion by Carey, but all you have to do is get it between the big sticks.
At half-time, the margin was 30 points. It is now 41 in favour of the Kangaroos. Burton is doing some excellent work in the middle. So too is Harvey. They combine to get it down towards right half forward. Bickley is gone. Bell, Burton, fantastic. The Spider wobbles it down towards the King. Carey in front of Robran, needs support. Bell's the man. He's got a player streaming down into the forward line. Calthorpe is there, and he takes the mark. 20 metres out, directly in front.
I think the most positive aspect coming out of this game for the competition, Sandy, is that just it reminds us of how good the Kangaroos can be. And I think there's been a lot of us saying that this is competition is already over. Give the cup to the Bombers, but you throw Colbert and Anthony Stevens, if he can get himself fit and back into some form into this team, they are going to be very tough to beat as well.
He kicks the goal.
Well, who would have thought that he'd become an important goal kicker for the Kangaroos? We've known him as a chunky midfielder for Essendon. Perhaps his Brisbane days weren't all that effective.
Just didn't quite settle in Brisbane. Don't think he liked the sun.
Well, maybe, but to get the opportunity when a lot of people have felt he was limited, but he's bobbed up in front of goals often enough this year to show that good coaches think laterally and look at all options for all types of players.
Spoken by one of the truly great lateral thinkers too of our time. 47 points is the margin.
How many people would have thought David Calthorpe would be a specialist forward pocket player, though?
Good point. Burton again, very effective in the middle. It's almost like a drill now, isn't it? Clayton kicks towards the 50. McKernan was one of the flyers. Carey was at the back. Smart tries to get through some very heavy traffic. Pokes it out wide. It's been all one-way traffic so far. Rashudo comes back in towards Johnson, then goes wider again for the Roo. He lopes towards right half forward. They desperately want a goal. Or McCartney dropped his nut, and it could prove very costly, although that kick is wide and out of bounds on the full from a man you may think or expect to have kicked it, Darren Jum.
Well, it's twice he's done that today. He had a good look at the goals, and the ball hasn't hit the boot as he would like.
Martin Pike.
Perhaps the same with the left hand.
It might be one of Blighty's left-hand, right-footed footballs out there.
Clayton. Yes. Oh, golly. I don't know what Malcolm had done there. I think he'd had a big day. Here's Hart. Around the body. Back over the centre once again. Oh! Burton got a fly, but that was all from the Birdman. This ball will be slippery now, so it's not going to be easy. Vardy is going to have a shot.
It's a beautiful kick. McLeod looked. He saw Vardy had space there, managed to get the ball back. And impossible for Makepeace, who I must say has done a very good job on him, to stop that mark.
There's something the viewers can't see, which I think should be mentioned. A boy like Abraham, he's obviously not fit with his ankle, but he's out there working hard and just giving Dennis Pave another option.
Vardy desperate to close the gap. Kicks from 48 and does kick the goal.
Well, he's been one of the missing pieces of the Crows jigsaw tonight, Peter Vardy. He's just been totally obliterated at this stage by a young man, Troy Makepeace. When the Crows are playing well, genuinely he's part of the makeup. And if he can get 2 or 3 goals in the first half, they just look a far more attractive proposition when you're coming up against a side as powerful as this Kangaroos outfit. He needs to get some form in the next quarter and a half.
96 plays 55. Burton again with Wren. Won by the latter, that's pushed towards the Kangaroos half forward line. Calthorpe taken out of it. It's going to be a free kick for a push. It's going to go the way of Rashudo, who gives it off to Smart, who wants to play on at all costs. Put some pressure on Stengline. He's got to have to beat a couple here. Hand pass has got to be good to Robert, and it is. To half forward. McLeod's lurking here. Look out, this is danger. The Norm Smith medalist should cruise in. Kick to full forward. Could have almost had a shot. Vardy will kick another one.
Well, this was interesting because McLeod went to the centre of the ground for that last bounce down. Blakey, his opponent, streamed into the forward line, ran straight to the full forward position for the Kangaroos, and when the ball was turned over by Robin, you'll see McLeod running onto it, no one anywhere near him, and the kick, I think he's going for goal. It comes from right to left, and Vardy, where all good comers should be, right at the foot of the pack. Didn't have to do too much work there. All he had to do was put himself in the right spot. And for a man who's been well held all day, all of a sudden he's bobbed up with a couple of goals.
2 important ones too. Back to a 35-point deficit. Remember, it was 30 points at half-time. Burton and Wren to go again in the middle. Burton wins it. Socked towards Clayton. Stengline on his hammer, so he gives it to Bell. Peter Bell sneaks wide to the outer side. Blakey and Edwards give chase. Edwards happy to find the line.
Peter Bell, he's a bit like a computer. He just sort of thinks and works out where to go to find the footy.
Let's hope he doesn't get the bug.
The love bug.
The love bug curls.
He certainly hasn't been given any sort of bug tonight. He's been able to freewheel pretty comfortably. And Tyson Edwards, it appears, is on him at the moment. Just gives him too much space to move in.
Clayton having trouble picking up that slippery ball. He didn't have it for a long time in that tackle. And eventually King, who's just come back out onto the ground, sees it over the line. Kangaroos getting a couple of early ones in this quarter. The Crows hitting back with 2 from Peter Vardy, but they need more yet. Bell taken out of it. McLeod, well tackled, gives it away to Edwards. Tyson Edwards looks inside 50. Kick's got to be good. Blakey and Pike, kicks a beauty. Jarman's got the goal. Roo players are fuming.
Well, Adelaide has momentum. And I guess when you're within 5 goals, you're always a chance. I've given them up earlier in this quarter. The kick comes in long. Andrew McLeod again featured. The handball, not convincing, but Tyson Edwards, who's a much underrated player, kicks long, good use of the body. Just nudged him under the ball. Some people will be asking for the push in the back. Martin Park probably didn't exaggerate it enough.
I think
Crows on a bit of a run here, Curls.
Yeah, I think that ankle's given out on Abraham. He's been replaced by Durkee.
So important now, the next one in particular. We could have a big finish here at Football Park. Gallagher goes to ground without the footy. Smart piles in over the top. Calthorpe's there as well. So that's 4 goals to Jarman, although some of those Kangaroo defenders were not at all impressed. They didn't hear a whistle.
Well, I think the thing with Martin Pike, when he felt the nudge in the back, perhaps he should have exaggerated and gone to ground. He may have got the free kick, but when he kept his feet, which good footballers are supposed to do, the umpire was not convinced.
Burton flicks it towards goal. Motlop gets through, but there's been a whistle. There was some holding on, some illegal holding on Goodwin, and he's going to take it.
The Crows crowd booed the umpires up at half-time.
9-4 it was at half-time.
I don't think they'd be complaining at the moment.
No.
I didn't think it was necessary for you to go down and join them, though, Grant.
To half-forward, Simpson. Going back in, sneaks away from Vardy.
Good vision.
Gets a call out wide, but can he keep it in play? Well, he can. That's extraordinary, Motlop. Just kept it in play, ran the boundary line, gained 15 metres. Carey trying to get it on with a deft little tap to Harvey, not successful. Goodwin to Johnson, off to Robert. Hurriedly gets boot to ball. Blakey, the diving attempt by the veteran. What recovery by Blakey. Beats 1, beats 2. Wobbles it up to half forward. Carey and Robrin. Robrin the good spoiler. The Crows have lifted. Rashudo's thump. Loses the footy. Motlop's in there as well. So too Gallagher. They pile on it. Bickley smashes it out. Waiting is Bell. With him is Harvey. They're like Siamese twins. Off to Blakey. Look out, Blakey! He shrugged the tackle. He kept on going. He gave it to Motlop. It's not a pretty kick, and it's marked by Gallagher.
Very tense out here.
Yeah, it's gone up a cock, Curls, don't worry.
And Matthew Rodman having a pretty good quarter to date on Wayne Carey.
Kicks long towards the 50. Smashed down towards Martin. He gets an awful bounce. Socket towards full forward. Suddenly the pressure's right on Makepeace and co. of the Kangaroos. To centre wing. Simpson around the body. Just wants to make a few metres. And in the end does it very well. Probably gains 25.
Well done, Troy Makepeace. Martin Pike not confident to go for the mark. He did what all good defenders do. Didn't think about it, fisted it forward, but it might have come unstuck had not Makepeace been able to pounce on it. And Simpson was a very clever kick.
They should have an extra around the ball at the moment, the Crows, because the Kangaroos have dropped a couple of players in defence, namely McKernan.
9.5 minutes remaining. The light upsetting King. It doesn't upset Burton. Around he goes. An important possession here for the Adelaide Crows if they can get it. Biglands couldn't. Martin shrugs the tackle and he bursts clear as only Mick can. Kicks it high towards centre wing. 4 of them there. Smart and Rashudo up against Calthorpe and Simpson. The boundary line wins.
Neil, it just looks as if a couple of the first or second year players of the Crows are still finding their feet and waiting back on impact areas, expecting their more senior teammates to grab possession rather than just seeing the play and going through with it.
Yeah, I think that's a good point.
Johnson wobbles it to half forward. Here's Vardy. He's kicked a couple, but now he's kicked that one out on the full.
I guess when you come into a side, Graham, when you're playing with dual premiership players, you may be just sitting back and saying, well, I'll let the senior bloke grab the footy. He's going to do it better than me.
It happens, but young fellas have to realise that the youngest player is as important as the oldest player.
Burton over the top. Simpson was a flyer and a big one at that. Smart, though, will keep it in play towards Wren. Had to bend down a little too far, the big man. Oh, he sits on that. He almost laid an egg. McLeod sneaks out the back door of the Chook House and kicks towards full forward. They need a mark. Who's going to be first to recover at the back? Makepeace was at the bottom. sat over it. King sits over it.
Guillotine.
And he's going to get a free kick. Put his body on the line there. He's a tough old nut, David King. Goes wide to the outer side there. Standing the pressure at the moment. Pike looks towards Carey. Needs a kind bounce. Robin is right there with him. Carey tries to slap it for the umpire. Fell over again. Clever little toe poke, but it may come unstuck to Nigel Smart. He's ripped to the ground in a fantastic tackle. Poked out the back door to Shannon Grant. Tumbles it long. If it sits, they could bounce it towards goal. Clayton, Shane Clayton, slams it into the woodwork.
Well, it's been a frenetic last 5 minutes. Both clubs, both sides have lifted, and it's been entertaining footy.
Yes, I think that's a good idea. Sure, means a good kick, but I think you'd want it where the ball was falling rather than kicking off.
So it'll be Tyson Edwards. Ian Perry about to come back on.
Same result here, though. And Sean Wren should be pushing down, trying to get the mark.
Well, Goodwin's been given the ball.
Wonderfully composed player is Simon Goodwin.
Well, he wouldn't have wanted to have left it for another half a second.
He knew exactly what he was doing, Sandy.
Yep, Gallagher, did he? He's dropped that and he's in awful trouble. He's almost stripped naked, thrown out towards Peter Bell. Bell tries to break the Tyson tackle, and the snap at goal is away to the left, one behind, as Perry is about to come onto the ground.
Now that's an example of how players' skill error. Now, I imagine the light was in David Gallagher's eyes there, but a very, very simple chest mark. Dropped, and the opposition has a shot at goal.
Costa.
Mind you, David Gallagher has been good.
He's got 50 here.
Matthew Roberts pushed well forward.
Pretty tough call that, because Costa was moving to the side.
I tell you what, this 50-metre rule has to be looked at, Curls.
Yeah, you can't allow the player of the ball to move off to the side. You've got to stop him.
And David Kelthorpe's now running pretty well in the back pocket.
Big mark for Ian Perry, who's just come onto the ground. He's 55 metres out, goes back with a long bomb that is away to the left. But that was shades of the Birdman.
Well, he's been good the last couple of weeks, Ian Perry, given a contest in and around the forward line. Gets to sit here, pretty classic, but the ball in front of his eyes, hands behind the ball. His kick had good penetration, but it wasn't accurate.
Burton off. McKernan on the ball, bang to half forward.
Looks like Matthew Robin's also gone on the ball as he curls.
He's just gone down. Now, whether he's been changed.
It's definitely a new opponent for Wayne Carey.
And we'll get the bird right. It's definitely Spider Burton that is off for the Kangaroos. Lang comes on to take his place. That ball went out on the full, so the Crows still have a chance through Nathan Bassett.
I think Carey is still on Robin, or Robin is still on Carey.
I think Carey's gone down more than Robin has.
Yes.
Gallagher takes the short pass.
They're coming together now.
Oh, that's dangerous.
Oh.
Burton was the target. McLeod, not a very tidy tackle. Calthorpe towards centre wing. Robin leading in the race, but he overruns it. Lang just tries to tap it on towards King. He leaves it for Harvey. How does that man break tackles? He's very elusive. Scholl and Hart, two fine players. Carey, he also can play. He could just about be pinged here. He got it out, but he's gone. And don't they love it here at Football Park? Even Cornsy's dropped his guitar and has broken into gay laughter. Johnson.
That's unfair, Sandy.
Sorry, happy laughter.
I love watching Wayne Carey play.
Goes wide, Costa.
It was an important ball, though. Carey, if he's gone, the momentum of the Crows dissipates, but Hart's pace, I thought, was outstanding.
Jarman gives it to Edwards. He kicks to half forward. Close to the line with Jason McCartney. We've got a throw in on the outer side. We've got just over 5 minutes remaining in the quarter. And the Crows throwing absolutely everything at the reigning champions.
And at critical stages of games, goals, as silly as it sounds, do mean more than other times. And you'd think the next goal in this game is absolutely vital.
Makepeace towards the boundary line.
It's a bit like sand through the hourglass. They're just working away, the Crows. But
ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Days of Our Lives.
The Kangaroos are hanging on.
You're unbelievable. 60 years, he's finally gone into drama. Sensational. There's McKernan and Wren, the former, just looking to gain a few metres. Welsh keeps it in play, playing against his old side, puts Nigel Smart under the pump. Rashudo in there to apply a tackle on Archer, and a deft little kick.
Yes, it wasn't a great handball from Scotty Welsh.
It's a very important loose ball, a neutral ball situation here, because Wayne Carey's one out with Matthew Robin in the square. If a Kangaroo can get free,
look out.
There's no doubt Carey will get it on the chest.
It's on centre wing. At the moment they can't, however, because McLeod will look towards half forward. It's Birdman rise, and he does. Burton, 60 metres out, kicks in towards the pocket. Out the back is Blakey. Hurriedly gets boot to ball, slapped towards the line. That was almost deliberate.
I think he was having difficulty getting his hand to it.
No, I think he was looking for the boundary line.
I'd love to see it again. I think the ball deceived him. He got his hand to it and it bounced awkwardly out of bounds.
You couldn't penalise him for that.
You could not, no.
From the throw-in, pushed towards the Crows' goal-scoring zone. Perry, that's great use of the body. He gives it to Johnson. He held it for a darn long time. Welch is in trouble. Gives it away to the cruiser. Have a look at the cruiser! McLeod has got it.
Well, they've finally broken that 5-goal barrier. One more quick one, possibly two, Ron, and they are some chance here, the Crows, because they'll get the crowd involved now. All of a sudden, the nails are starting to be extracted from the coffin.
And you'd have to say the Kangaroos have worked so hard. You think they couldn't play any better, and Adelaide just gradually whittling away. There's no breeze to speak of.
It was only a couple of rounds ago they looked gone in the showdown. Came back from the dead. At one stage here, I think they were 47 points down. 74 plays 98. There's still 4 goals, but they set it up for the final quarter with just on 4 minutes remaining. Next goal so important. Costa ripped to the ground, taken away by Smart, but not very far. Stenglein gets an awful bounce. Shannon Grant gets a beauty. Round the body he goes towards Harvey. Watch this little bloke go. Gives a bit of ground. Centering into half forward. King's his target. He's still a long way out, David King. Loves a goal. He gets a sniff. Carey, Robran. Carey goes again. He's in the pocket. Lang does the shepherding. Carey wheels round. First one way, then the other. Steadies. Shoots towards goal. Big kick for a captain. And has missed and's got a behind.
I just can't understand why football crowds boo this champion. He's just an absolute delight to watch.
Well, and great players, Curls, have great recovery. Matthew Robin did well in the contest, brought the ball to ground, but Carey's recovery was sensational. And he had time to evade a couple of Crows defenders, and still Matthew Robin not able to close him down.
Hart.
Jeez, he nearly went
just
over the line.
I thought he did actually. Yep, went over the line, but the umpire didn't see it. So play goes on. Rashudo on the end of the hand pass. Caught. Does get the ball away. Calthorpe, those little legs pumping, and gives it to David King. Great vision as he comes to the outer side. Finds Scholl. Scholl's 51 metres out. It's a high ball. Carey is there. Smart is there. Push to the line. Smart will concede. And he pushes over the line. Was that deliberate, say the Gru boys?
Well, it was great recovery, as Graham just alluded to. Great players have that ability to stay on their feet. But the midfield and, well, the whole side of the Adelaide Crows have expended that many petrol tickets. It's just vital and imperative for this match that they hold on.
McKernan's going to kick a goal.
And I'd have to say Sean Wren turning around to the umpire, say, didn't he pull me off the ball? But
well, it just came, that goal, with just so much ease. I think we're all a little bit shocked with that one.
Nonplussed.
It's an interesting ruck contest. Let's watch it. No, we don't see it.
Well, he just went.
No, I think there was
I think it was a misstep, two-step and a bossing over.
He knew what he wanted to do, though. He knew he wanted to get the ball and kick it.
Yeah. If ever the Kangaroos wanted a steadier, Corey McKernan has done it by just charging at that ruck duel, grabbing it and booting it. He's got 4. Back in the middle we go with him once again. Simpson applies the tackle. It comes to McKernan, and he goes long as only Corey can. Carey at the back almost stole it. Smart takes the Costa hand pass, gives it over to Johnson, who's cruising across half-back. Kane goes wide to the outer side. Got to get over this little man, Peter Bell, and you can't. He's just having a grand game. Now watch out for McKernan and Carey. They both come in the pack. Wren goes to the outer side. That's dangerous too. The mark by the Birdman is going to be paid.
He's looking a lot more confident. He hasn't shown much confidence in his early games and has been back at Woodville West Torrens, but he's really putting it on the line here today.
Blakey arching the back and just losing it over the line.
Jared, the Kangaroo boys spent so much effort in that first half. Do you think they can keep it going for the 4 quarters?
Well, I guess that's the one hope that the Crows have got at this stage, Curls. I think that they're a pretty match-hardened unit, this one. They've got so many options through the middle that they should be able to run it out.
Okay. The Crows have certainly spent a bit in this quarter too, as Simpson and King and co combined to go back towards the middle once more. But again, chopping it off is Burton.
That stopped a couple of times though. Once against St Kilda, they got to 42 points out and just took the foot off the accelerator, almost at their own peril.
Blakey soccers in towards the middle. The danger again as Robrin comes cruising past. Soccers to half forward. Smart back to Robrin. Carey's got him. Short little kick is going to come unstuck below. That's going to be out of bounds, but not quite on the full. We've got a throw in, and Jason McCartney, the boy from Nil, sees a throw in. Sting line off. Benke on.
The advantage of keeping the ball moving, even if it's not clean, just keep the ball moving. Players in support gives you a chance.
An important couple of minutes here. Picked up by Goodwin. From a standing start, he pumps it high and long. Hart is at the back. It's taken over the line. One behind.
We've got a situation back here too with Sean Wren playing in defence on McKernan. That's not a good matchup.
We've got a minute remaining for the quarter. Roos making a late change too, Curls. So Pickett's coming back on.
A bit more pace.
McKernan and Perry, neither can take it. Pickett might get straight into the thick of things here. King gets away from Smart. Pickett says go, and he does. Oh, good shepherding by Pickett. He's hurt Gallagher. King keeps going. He's taken the wind right out of his sails as the boy from Port Melbourne goes towards Carey. Carey used the body but tried to do it from behind. Hart tries to get away from Scholl. Not out of it yet. Pushed towards Burton. With him is Clayton. Surging to the line. Oh. Clayton keeps it in. Slips. Recovers. Keeps it inside 50. But Wren is there to take a timely mark in defence.
Well, that was nearly a killer when Burton went to ground and left the ball inside the boundary.
30 points the margin. No one on the mark. Very close to three-quarter time.
At the back.
McCartney away from Rashudo. Straight out of bounds on the full. But it won't matter because there's only 3 seconds left.
And the three-quarter time break, I think, won't come quick enough for a number of the midfielders. You just had a look at there at Mark Rashudo. He is a spent force. He'll need the recovery time.
Well, they've got it now, Jared, because it is three-quarter time. And interestingly enough, at half-time, the margin was 30 points. And it is still 30 points favouring the Kangaroos after they really fired out at the start of the third quarter with 3 quick goals. And we thought, well, how far is it going to be? To Adelaide's credit, they come back. But now they've got the real job ahead of them. They are still 5 goals down, and there's just 1 quarter to play. At three-quarter time, the Kangaroos 16-9 lead Adelaide 11 goals 9. Three-quarter time here at Football Park. The Kangaroos continue to hold their 30-point lead, courtesy of goals from Carey 5, McKernan 4, Harvey 3. The Kangaroos 16-9, leading Adelaide 11-9. Jarman is their leading goal scorer with 4. Welch and Vardy each have 2. Reminder too about the name a game. Any game you would like to see, you can just ring now by dialing 1-800-035-665 and you can have that game in your lounge room. Some of Graham Corn's finest moments perhaps, or even Gerard Healy. Or if you want to get on the internet, it's www.aflvideo.com.au. So go to it if your name is indeed Dot, and get the game that you want to see. Dennis Pagan down there with Normie Dare and his fellow coaching staff as we go down to the boundary line. Curls.
Yeah, thanks, Daniel. Dennis Pagan spent quite a bit of time talking to individuals during that break, and then of course he had the group situation. As we said at half-time, it would take a mighty effort for the Crows to get out of this one. I just can't see it happening against a very professional unit that the Kangaroos are. I think they have too many good players around the ground. Centre clearance, of course, are absolutely vital in today's footy, but no more vital than this last quarter tonight, because if the Kangaroo boys still retain that dominance which they've had there in that particular area, they'll win the game for certain. Whether the Crows boys can get it out of the middle often enough, we've got to wait and see, but at this stage you have to say the Kangaroos are home.
30 points the margin. Here we go. Final quarter at Football Park in this round 9 clash. Another excellent crowd. No breeze. The Roos got away to a flying start in the third quarter to stretch that 30-point lead. Now the Crows, they want the start in this final one to cut it. To half forward, Johnson's playing in front across half back, loses the footy. Harvey there's been a real terrier. Gallagher tries to get it out to Edwards, tumbles a punt back towards the centre wing. Bassett missed it. McCartney head down, bottom up, also lost it. The Birdman is away. Burton, there's been a whistle behind play. It's coming back and it's been turned over by the Crows. They may well rue that. McCartney's going to take a free kick on centre wing. I didn't see what happened.
Yeah, Bassett held him.
He held him, did he, Neil? Thank you very much. And Makepeace could well kick a goal here. He's 50 metres out. He steadies. He goes on to the left boot. Carries his man, but it's away to the right and through for a behind.
That's an atrocious lapse in discipline. If it's as Curl says, you're released with the ball, you're about to go into attack, it comes back, turns over, and the opposition immediately has a shot on goal.
Hart brings it in towards Goodwin. Only short and just tucked in the pocket. It's going to make Gallagher work hard here. Really hard, because he's up against the wily old David King, who hugs the boundary line for Calthorpe. Can't quite keep it in. It mattered not anyway. It was out of bounds on the full. Good crowd tonight, 40,402. Probably 402 Kangaroo supporters. Here's Johnson. Back towards the middle. Robran slips. Carey, the door may open for him. Stengline on his hammer. Carey just tries to push it into the centre. Comes back to him again. What a champion. Kicks to half forward, but Costa is there and he chops it off.
That's what you're
saying. You've given away 50, Byron.
Can't understand why he would have done that. The boy wasn't away, he just took the mark.
Well, 50-metre penalty generally
Let's have a look at it.
means that you have a rest on the woodwork.
Again, there's nothing much in that, is there, right?
He ran forward over the mark, so I guess that's the rule.
Well, can the Crows take advantage of it? Costa wants to go long. Hey!
Well, somebody's given this man an enormous injection of confidence. They've sent him out to play. He played some pre-season games, mainly in defence, and he was a little bit tentative, but the last 2 weeks, last week against St Kilda and this week, he's seen the ball, he's set himself, and he's not going to die wondering. He's actually having a good, honest contest. And as we see Nathan Bassett being taken from the ground, probably to explain to the coach why he did turn that ball over. But a pretty important kick here for Ian Perry.
3 goals last week. Starts to the right, but I reckon he's got it. He's got it. So there's a flicker of hope for the Crows with Ian Perry getting his first.
Yes, and he's given them something. Nathan Bassett had gone from defence into the forward line. They were fairly big up there with Bassett, Binky, Jarman, Perry and Welsh.
Rhett Biglands has come on and he's gone on to Cordy McKernan.
Perry gets his first goal.
Nigel Smart's gone forward then.
McLeod hasn't got a player.
And this could be a big play here as Rashudo gets it out of the centre towards Perry again. Martin smashes clear, but McLeod could be first to it. He has to soccer off the ground. Goes back towards centre wing. Trying to chop it off was Johnson. McLeod. Costa, look out! Lost it. Pick it in on Rashudo.
Picked up a free kick with a nice bit of work.
Free kick there.
A week late for the Logies, but certainly would have justified a nomination.
I think it could have knocked off Lisa McCune, that.
There's such a thing as making sure the umpire...
You watch Sandy?
Natalie, I haven't watched this. Cords has just lost his guitar. That'll be smashed to the line by Makepeace. I don't think that quite came out correctly. That's got a throw in.
I think another goal to the Crows. You'll see the Carey move to the fence.
Thanks for your stability there, Curls.
Good line. Throw in. Crowd really warming, sensing maybe Crows can come back. Kicked hurriedly towards Rashudo. Couldn't take it cleanly. Simpson was there. Burton takes on a couple. He loses it. Tunnel ball out the back towards Burton. Just for a moment. Harvey ripped to the ground. Didn't have the footy. Johnson's not happy, but Harvey's got the free kick.
Well, it was exactly the same, and he was held. He didn't have the football, but he exaggerated it.
I think he might have had it temporarily and then just it slipped out of his hands. I think that may have been a fair plea from the Crow.
Harvey gives it to Bell, who kicks towards McKernan. Oh, with strength, gets clear, gives it to the running Clayton. Another one to Motlop. This is dangerous for the Crows. Motlop sets sail for home. It's a long kick into full forward, and Carey has taken the mark.
Yes, classic Paddock that time.
They're setting up Pagan's paddock, and Adelaide not reacting to it at all. All that space behind Wayne Carey and Motlop. I've been most impressed with his kicking.
Plays on, he bends it back, but might have just missed.
Big one.
Has he got it? He's got it.
Yeah, this is the classic Pagan's paddock setup. The North Melbourne forward line have drifted up the ground. Shannon Motlop receives the ball. It's a beautiful kick. Well done by Clayton. He cut them up, but this kick just goes long into space. Look, nobody there. Carey, not a lot of room, but just enough to take the mark. Plays on, bends the ball.
Beautiful conversion. Sure, Lisa would have been pleased with it.
I think Carey will stay on attack.
Yes.
81, plays 112. That one hurt the Crows. Burton out of the centre.
Crunch.
Good shepherding, and that allows North Melbourne or the Kangaroos to kick down towards the half-forward line. It came from Simpson to Bell. Bell tries to bend it back, but it's not far enough.
And Byron Pickett just letting Brett Burton know that he's around the place. And if you're chasing the opposition player, you should actually keep your wits about you.
Been searching for centre-half forward all night, the Crows. I see Smart's there now.
Actually, Jared too, as we see this kick in, I think. Oh, Johnson, be careful, Kane. He steadies and recovers. Kicks towards centre wing, and Biglands takes the mark.
Mind you, Sandy, Kane Johnson's been a very good player for the Crows tonight.
Yep, he has. That finds its target. Rashudo takes it away from Banky. He looks to half forward. There's plenty of urgency there. Goodwin swings round onto the left foot. Looks towards half forward. Archer. Discipline smash down in front. Makepeace is away for the Kangaroos. To the wide open spaces, and he's got to go wide because the only one there is McLeod, and he's going to be first to it. Chipped short. Robran. Carey tonight has 6 goals, and his record against Adelaide Crows isn't all that flash, but no Kangaroo player has ever kicked 6 against the Adelaide Crows before tonight, so well done to the King as Bell takes on his former teammate in Scotty Welch. Loses the ball over the line.
Scotty Welch trying to slide into the mark. There's a lot to be said for keeping your feet. He didn't control the mark and the ball escaped. Did well to strip Bell then though.
Burton again with a height advantage. Archer just using a little bit of muscle.
That was great.
Smart to half forward. Martin, Mickey head for the line. And he does. That was great work by Archer.
Oh, Mick's looking for a free, I think.
We did get one in the noodle.
Still plenty of time for the Adelaide Crows if they can put a run together. Maybe they'll get the chance here through Peter Vardy. A miracle goal! 3 goals to Peter Vardy. And just maybe that will be the spark that will ignite the fire.
A goal from nothing, but just look at the setup there. He's looking at the goals. The ruck contest brought the ball down on the defensive side. He was good enough to take it cleanly. He was even good enough to evade the trouble, or the trouble around him, the pressure around him, and the kick was accurate. He's been very good, Peter Vardy, since half-time anyway.
Well, there's plenty of time, Jared.
Oh, yes, the Crows, they're never a spent force here if they're within 3 or 4 goals at Footy Park. But you just have to feel for Troy Makepeace. He realises the unjust nature of playing as a defender, because he's done a great job on Vardy for most of the night, but 3 kicks for 3 goals, and all of a sudden he's one of potentially their match winners.
Johnson gives it to Costa, but there's a fine mark taken by McCartney. Off to Peter Bell. Kangaroos so good at steadying it down. King over to Bell again. Prolific possession winner. Short to Martin. Mix on centre wing. And he fires them up towards the 50. Out come the galloping hordes. Wren does the roving work, and he does it pretty well. Archer and Welch. Archer, a disciplined smash, and then he recovers. He's enjoying being back in the thick of things. Kicks towards left half forward and finds the left footer Shannon Grant.
Geez, it was an important ball there. Scott Welsh had Glenn Archer well out of position. Just needed to nudge him under the footy.
Archer's just psyched him out of it at the moment, I think.
Carey was the target. Clever kick by Carey. And the praying mantis has put out an arm and it's stuck. And Burton will have a shot.
He's 7'2", Spider Burton, but he's got good reflexes. He's got good ball handling. I'm not sure he intended it for him.
I reckon he may have.
That is just sensational. And Spider, well, I love watching him play, this boy from Subiaco. He's only kicked 2 goals for the year. He's only kicked 34 in his whole career. But this one could be memorable. He needs it to come back, and he loves it. He loves it.
Well, it's an amazing thing. Good teams, again, can create goals from nothing. Carey under all sorts of pressure. We'll see it in replay.
What do you reckon?
Well, he looks at Burton.
He does.
He looks at Burton, but did he intend to get the ball to him to mark him? Then watch him. He sees him.
Well, I think he was just trying to put it to his advantage, whether or not he expected it to turn up lace out.
Was it to Burton or was it to somebody further afield? Nevertheless, Burton good enough to control it and convert.
Yeah.
Well, this is where Burton's value is. They can't reach him.
And he's actually put it on the chest a number of times to that very man in Simpson.
Simpson out of the middle towards the 50. Scholl turned inside out, socket out of his hands towards Edwards, who's got smart, uses him now. Nigel looks towards half forward. Time and element now. Perry a big flyer. Blakey through heavy traffic, and cool as you like. McCartney finds Bell. Bell, certainly one of the best on the ground tonight, finds Simpson. Carey's been good, McKernan's been good, Harvey's been good. You could go through a fair list. King in towards half forward, straight through the fingers of McKernan. The door will open here for Gallagher. Now Rashudo from half back. He ambles over the centre. Cruises up towards half forward. Again, McCartney and Pike and Co are all there. Binky leads in the race though. He's almost down the centre wing. Needs support. Coming in is Kane Johnson. Hurriedly gets boot to ball. Bending it in towards the pocket. It wasn't a good kick. And it spins away from Darren Jarman for a throw in on the outer side.
Yes, well, Brian Binky did the right thing. He turned inside rather than looking outside. Found Kane Johnson. It was a bit of a hospital hand pass, and that's what put the pressure on the kick. But instead of staying in the corridor, Kane Johnson's gone deep to the pocket.
It doesn't get any easier for Adelaide. Next week they've got Essendon, and after that Melbourne. for the Kangaroos next week. They've got Fremantle and then Carlton. Here's Welsh. 47 metres out. Spiralling a punt in towards full forward. A lot of holding on. And the umpire has picked it up. Mickey won't be happy.
I think you'll see in replay that right arm is over Ian Perry's shoulder there.
Just while you're talking there, boys, there was going to be an interchange there with Carey off, but the runner went out, and the physio, but Carey waved them away.
He's had that problem with his pelvis curls.
I think so, just a little bit.
Osteopubitis.
Yes. Something wrong with in his leg, yeah.
Even osteitis pubis.
You're the physio.
Here's Perry. He's kicked the goal. Two goals to Perry, and both coming in this final quarter.
I just thought you may have come up with a new injury there.
Sounds like a rain cloud.
What pubitis?
Yeah, osteitis cubitis.
Ah, yes.
It means a sore pelvis anyway with the bones.
You know all about that.
Ian Perry bringing Adelaide a bit closer. I'm not sure it's enough though.
Girls thought it was a rain cloud. 93 plays 119. Again, they tease Adelaide, but can they go the next step? Out of the middle, Simpson sees it go through his arms. An attempted soccer comes to Clayton, and it came from King. That was good. Into half forward. Carey! Tremendous use of the body. And the King says, let's just cool it. Let's steady it down. He'll go back and have a shot.
You watch the replay, just watch the position of the shoulders and the back here. He just manages to turn the body at the critical stage it is, and just takes Matthew Robin out of the contest.
Yeah, Matty's allowed him to take front position far too often, and because once he's in front, hard man to beat.
Carey for number 7. No Kangaroo player has ever kicked 7 against Adelaide. And that includes Carey for the moment. One behind. 27 points, now the margin. Tyson Edwards takes it from Hart. Kicks to half back and finds Goodwin. 11 minutes remaining. Goodwin kicks wide towards centre wing. McKernan a flyer. Simpson on all fours. Gives it to that player now. Penetrating hand pass, but the Crows have the numbers. They may have the numbers, but King has the spirit and the agility to give it to Simpson. Simpson looks up towards Carey territory again. Uses the body to try and clear his opponent and open the path for Harvey. Harvey will go into the open goal and kicks it. The runaway train.
I've seen him in state games, I've seen him here at Football Park, and every time he gets near it, you know he's going to hurt you. If you're a South Australian, you'd be sick of the sight of young Brent Harvey, but if you're a football purist, you just love the way he gets the ball. Carey makes the contest, but the quick legs and the shepherd from Carey.
Who's leaving the ground as we speak.
You can't do it. You can't do it. The crowd is... there's some applause there.
Just a fantastic night for Wayne Carey.
It's been one of the most dominant performances we've seen here at Footy Park, I would think, Cornsey.
Yes, well, it's not been a single-handed performance because they've been a professional team and they've been an intense team. They've resisted the challenge when other teams would have broken. The Crows have come strongly at them, but McKernan and Carey.
19 kicks, 9 marks and 6 goals for Wayne Carey. I think that says a fair bit about his night. Here's Burton. Gets a hurried kick that spins to the line.
And while we're on that, boys, Wayne Carey made that decision himself. He singled that he was coming off.
Had enough.
And yeah, they just work. There's no injury. It's just a matter of a bit of cramp. And
look to next week and Fremantle at the MCG on Sunday. Wren tries to smash it forward. Simpson's little toe poke.
Bit going on behind.
McLeod, it is Smart and McCartney are discussing wheat prices in nil. This is Perry inside 50. Thumps it high, goes in towards the square. They need a mark. Jarman is lurking as well. Costa is there too. Archer is desperate as ever. They're still in it. It's poked high. Comes down towards King. David King loves this. He tries to charge through. Took on a couple. Didn't quite work. Gallagher's hand pass smothered. And it's eventually pushed wide to the line, and Pickett is taken out by Robren. He loses the footy to the boundary, and that won't be bad.
Interesting inside 50 stats, boys. Adelaide have been in 54 times, the Kangaroos inside 52, and it just shows you just how efficient they are in converting their forward thrusts.
Oh, I think the difference is Wayne Carey, no doubt.
Rashudo. His hand passes put pressure on Hart to control it, and Motlop sees him to the line.
The other thing, Curls, is though the way Adelaide have been bringing the ball in wide into their forward, unusually, because they've been a very straight side for the last couple of years.
They've got no one there to straighten them up.
That's correct.
King again. Pickett hurriedly.
And Welsh hasn't been able to get near a mark tonight, and the pressure through the middle has been such from the Kangaroos, and it hasn't allowed the midfield of the Crows to sweep the ball in very quickly to kick it on the chest of the smaller players they got down there.
But the important thing is to maintain the structure and the game plan regardless of who's there, and just make the players fit the game plan rather than trying to adapt the game plan to the players.
Robren leads in the race. Lang right there with him. Lang replacing Carey. Sees it to the line.
Yeah, you're saying Welsh hasn't been able to get into the game very much, Gerald. Well, I don't think too many players would with Archer in the mood he's in tonight.
No doubt about that. He's certainly had a great game, Glenn Archer, and it's a welcome return after a couple of weeks suspension.
Goodwin lost it. Johnson gets the hand pass away. Gallagher towards Smart. Oh, he stood his ground and the galloping hordes came at him. Bell almost threw it out towards Blakey, but he accepted it, and that was the main thing. In towards half forward over the head of McKernan. Where are the runners? Johnson's lurking. Beautiful hand pass out the back. Corey goes for goal.
Missed.
And misses.
I think he had more time than he thought, but he just drifted to the back of the pack. Nobody went with him, and the ball fed out.
It's like missing a 6-inch putt.
Tyson Edwards coming out of the back pocket towards Burton and co. He elected not to fly. Lang takes it over the line with McLeod.
I guess the obvious person that you would consider to go down into that forward position is the bloke that's stood beside Wayne Carey all night. He's kicked 6 goals anyhow, and maybe after half-time it was worthy of consideration.
Burton with a slap. Costa gets past Motlop, rides the bump and kicks to half forward. Time certainly against the Crows now. Gallagher does the roving work. 55 out. Kick partly smothered in towards Pike and Archer. Been a whistle.
Yeah, holding.
Bit of holding, and it will come back. It's going to go to Archer.
Well, Scott Welsh starting behind Archer and then trying to drag him back off the ball. You must play in front if you're a forward.
Makepeace is in the far pocket. He kicks towards centre wing. And McCartney.
Is that a good game, McCartney?
He's been very effective. I was just thinking that, Neil. Has the ball on the outer wing.
Oh, now he's directing traffic.
Well, he's waiting for Spider, who was ambling down, and suddenly realised, well, I better get my skates on. It comes out the back door. It won't quite come to Spider. The Gallagher hand pass could prove very costly because Motlop's picked it up. He goes for goal. What way do you want it to bounce? To the right. But no, it goes to the left for Shannon Motlop, who kicked the goal in the first quarter. The boy from the Wanderers club in the Northern Territory, Gary Durkay, is also from that club.
Well, Shannon Motlop's father, of course, played with Glenelg many years ago.
Didn't think you'd be mentioning Glenelg after their performance today, Curls, but Cornsey. Hart runs it out towards the outer side. This is Biglands, Rhett Biglands, to Welsh.
Here he
now
goes.
McLeod, as only he can, cruise the flank in towards half forward. Gallagher recovers, bends it round, not a good kick. Rainmaker, King held, he didn't have it. McLeod, unperturbed, gives the hand pass back to Gallagher. They'll get there eventually. Gallagher goes in towards the bad man. Oh, somehow
he kicked it. He's kicked that.
Oh, sensational.
Well, we'll have to see this again. He didn't hold the mark. And Andrew McLeod lucky to get away with the ball. It appeared to hold David King. But here's the kick. Watch Burton fly. And what does he do? Well, he got it under his boot. He threw it under his boot. Connected. Well, one of those classic moments of football. Always something to redeem a game of football.
"29 points the margin." Oh, this will be remembered for a long time, especially by the Birdman and his family. Sensational stuff. Back to a 29-point margin. Simpson out of the middle for the Kangaroos.
The 10th time for a centre clearance. That would almost be a record for the year.
Hart marks at half-back.
An individual getting 10 centre clearances, Sandy, is an extraordinary effort.
He's been allowed to run through there on that path all the time.
And Spider Burton's been just feeding him so brilliantly that it's been a great performance by himself.
Hart runs his full distance in towards full forward. It bounces on the chest of Jarman, and he'll have a shot. Wren is leaving the ground, and coming on to complete proceedings for the day is Ben Marsh. Jarman is taken round on a 45-degree angle, but he just goes back and he lines them up and he cruises in and he misses to the left side, and it's shoveled over from behind.
But he's claiming it. He's claiming it.
Oh! Now look at Blakey.
Well, we have to have another look at this. It did appear to be over the line from here, but we must see it in replay.
Dear, 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 dear.
Well, there's a country.
We're going to get a good look at it here. It comes to... Watch.
Here's Blakey. Here he goes. That was over the line.
Well, does the ball have to be completely over the line?
Well, that is the question. And it's a funny-shaped ball, as Malcolm Blight will tell us.
That's exactly right. And there could be a country holiday riding on it for one particular goal umpire.
I think the...
Very nice at Biak, though, at this time of the year.
But as with the boundary out of bounds, I think the ball has to be completely over the line. That's the only doubt there, whether the ball was completely over the line before Vardy touched it.
Well, the umpire couldn't have been in a better
look
position.
At Burton.
He's probably spot on.
Towards half forward. Just a bit of urgency creeping back into this game now. Tyson Edwards has it for the Crows. He comes towards Rashudo on centre wing, and he takes the mark. So who did kick that last goal?
Peter Vardy, wasn't it?
Vardy, was it? Thank you very much. We were so excited watching Blakey. Kicked by Rashudo, goes towards Burton. Had it and dropped it onto his boot straight to the boundary line.
John Blakey is off the ground. So maybe Dennis Pagan believing that the ball should have been
forced through
a little bit better.
Yeah.
23 points the margin. Smart at the back. Archer had an airy. Costa doesn't want an airy here. Well, Burton's going to have to be quick. He's not quick enough, and Marsh takes the mark. Well, we've got 5 minutes remaining.
5 plus time on.
You're surprised we've seen so little of Marsh tonight, Graham?
Yes, well, I just think the dominance of Burton and McKernan in the centres forced him from the ground.
But I'm talking about as a forward.
Well, he's always dangerous as a forward pocket. Yes, now that you think about it, indeed.
Ben Marsh, big kick. He's kicked only 3 goals for the season, 7 in his career, but he's kicked that one, and that's what counts.
The one thing he is a very good kick. He's also a very mobile player for such a tall man. He's trotting back to the centre bounce, and it is absolutely critical that he gets over Spider Burton here. It's a pretty scruffy kick from Kimmy Costa, but Marsh in front, eyes on the ball. He didn't know what was coming. But now is the critical. Is there time? 4 minutes and 52 seconds.
Well, there's time.
A Crows takeaway here would be interesting.
Yes, well, they just have to shut down Burton and Simpson because they've been the damaging pair all day.
Girls has suddenly come to life, and so has this 40,000 strong crowd. This is the big one in the middle. Bell gives it away to Harvey. They're the two that have done so much damage. Carey, not Carey because he's left the ground. It was McKernan at the back. Socket away from Biglands. Biglands goes again. He picks it up now and he kicks it high. Roos making another change. Grant's coming onto the ground. Calthorpe is off. And we've got a throw in on the left half forward flank for the Kangaroos.
Crows runner is out there just pumping every player up. I suggest that Gary Ayres has said, get around and tell them all we're still a chance here. In spite of Burton's dominance at centre bounces has been
fantastic.
Brilliant.
Now, the Kangaroos are safe, but at least the Crows have made a bit of a charge.
Pretty average throw in. Marsh Rashudo was waiting down there from Biglands, takes it now. Bending it back towards centre wing. No mark taken. Slap towards McMartin. And then he slapped it back, but it accommodated Perry. Here's a go for the Crows again. Perry goes long. Inside 50. They want to mark. Vardy's already kicked 4. He's the danger man in the forward line. Around he goes. That's still a move. Vardy has kicked 5.
It's a funny game, and if you wanted an indication of whether the respective fitness levels of the two teams would be an indication, North Melbourne don't do a lot of aerobic work before Christmas time, before January. The Crows do. They do lots and lots of running, and North Melbourne rely on their match practice to run them into match form and match fitness. And maybe, just maybe, the Crows' advantage or their aerobic fitness base is having some effect or impact here.
The runners out and they're crowding the defensive area, the Kangas.
Got to do something, Kels. You just can't let it unfold as it has.
11 points the margin. This has been a big, big comeback.
But again, nobody in that spot.
Burton, Scholl gets a hurried one down towards Durkay, but sits and it won't sit. That little ball, he can't take it. He's got support, however, from Motlop, and he's been pretty good in this situation. Shannon Motlop to fall forward. No mark taken. Crows have the numbers. Beautiful tackle on the big man. He goes to ground. Costa does well. Gives the hand pass away to Hart. The Crows will not lie down yet, but that is chopped off, and it's taken by Simpson.
Magnificent second effort there by Rhett Biglands just to knock the ball onto Kim Costa.
Harvey's got to play on, you're being told. He's still being told. What's wrong with us? He's deaf. Unbelievable.
No, he didn't hear it.
Well, that's why. Well, he could be deaf.
And only Brett Burton reacted. No, I'm sure he...
11 points.
Thought he heard a whistle, Sandy.
3 minutes remaining. Burton in front. Durkay, an excellent tackle. Spills to Burton of the Crows around the body. Costa had to beat a couple. Waiting down is King. He wobbles it in towards the forward line. The bounce will be interesting here. Just kept in play. Socked back. Testing time for Durkay. Crawl, man, crawl. And he does. Was Gallagher who got it out initially back towards centre wing. Perry comes crashing at Archer.
Got to go on the right, Ben.
Oh, dear. Here goes Burton for the Crows, up to half forward.
Great mark,
and a fantastic mark taken by Makepeace.
Ian Perry's attack on that ball, sensational, and Makepeace's composure. Vardy's done some damage after half-time, but in front, eyes on the ball, match-saving mark.
Oh, luck, fortune there. McKernan was at the back. He kicks it long. Durkay's got to get his states on. Tyson Edwards leads in the race. He's got Benke on one side, McLeod on the other. He comes towards Benke and he's got it in the back pocket. Harvey not letting him go, but he can go to Kane Johnson. Bell not letting him go.
They have to go down the centre.
They've got to go straight down the middle.
Move Robert to centre half forward just for that very move.
Short, good one.
Smart's pushed into the forward line as well, getting all their gun players inside the top 50.
That goes the left footer in towards Robert. Archer's in front. Robert got a hand to it. Smart needs someone going past. Gallagher from 55. Gallagher shoots in towards goal. Smash towards the line. This time it is over. And it is a behind.
Well, that was a critical play instead of going for goals. There was players with space. The composure to look for the player moving into the space might have been the better option.
A big finish here at Football Park in front of 40,402 fans. And it's not over yet. Makepeace goes short to Blakey. A 10-point ball game with a minute and a half remaining. Dangerous now. Pike, you're in real trouble. Play on is the call. McLeod. Norm Smith magic is required and he's kicked it behind.
He's missed it. He's missed it. There was too many hands on heads.
Tell you what, she's pretty lonely up the other end of the ground, fellas. Just have a look. There's no one there.
There's no one. You're right, Curls.
I'll tell you what, though, the Crows have definitely had their opportunities, and David King saying, get out on this side. Just swamp this side, the grandstand side.
Martin, McKernan. McKernan's the big flyer. Burton keeps the ball in play. Pickett and Jarman both go at it. Pickett's got Jarman locked up and it's going nowhere. Short. Hart He's taken the mark. He's taken the mark, and he's 55 out. There's a minute remaining. Hart goes long. They need a mark. They need the Birdman. Welsh! Scotty Welsh has plucked it.
But he's got 56 seconds left. He just can't take the time. And the umpire hasn't called time on. The umpire won't blow time on. Perhaps he should have.
Welsh, 15 metres out, kicks the goal. Scotty Welsh has got his third. What an amazing finish here at Football Park.
Well, we called it in the third quarter that North Melbourne had this, or the Kangaroos had this game well and truly in their keeping.
You called it.
Every Kangaroo player is going to...
They were a team. Here, come on.
Every Kangaroo player is going to stay in the defensive half of the ground, other than the four in the middle of the ground. We might be able to just pull back and get a wide shot of this. This is just about a first, Sandy. I can't remember that.
Look at this to the left. If we can pan left, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Crows on one side, and they have flattened that Crows forward zone.
Somebody has got the shark, Brent Harvey. Spider Burton's hit the ball the same spot just about the whole night.
Marsh,
smart away, well done.
Pushed wide. See, precious seconds are ticking away now. It's down towards 30. Biglands does well. Keeps it in play towards centre wing, but they'll be quite happy, Scholl and co, to run it over with 20 seconds remaining.
Well, Biglands went the long kick, but really possession was what was needed, and he had the extra players around him, but an inexperienced player. This is the last throw of the dice, obviously.
3 points the margin,
got to flick it over the back to Hart.
Marsh, Burton almost threw that out. And again, finding the line is Simpson. Clever play as precious seconds tick by.
Go back to that centre bounce, that last centre bounce, and Burton's smart. He put it to the right-hand side, to the left-hand side on every occasion. This time he went to the other side. Crows weren't ready for it. Harvey off.
It's been fantastic, Harvey. Smart. This is Simpson. Has a little time, and it's valuable time too. That'll be quite enough. He pushes towards left half forward flank. Unable to keep it in. No, it's signal out of bounds. Burton not happy. It is out of bounds. And that will be the ball game for the Adelaide Crows. They're too far from goal with only seconds remaining. But what a comeback. Marsh and Burton again. Burton's been fantastic. Smart gives it away, but there's the siren as Johnson kicks into the middle. An amazing victory to the Kangaroos by just 3 points. The final score here at Football Park, the Kangaroos 19-14, the Adelaide Crows 19-11. 3 points, the eventual margin.
Yeah, we've seen a great game of football. When you think the game is struggling, games just pop up all the time. We've seen magnificent individual performances. We've seen great goal scoring performances and a close contest. Adelaide were always going to run out of time, but it was just smart work by a couple of their midfields. They had a bit more composure and perhaps a bit more desperation when it mattered.
Let's go down to Curls. Curls.
Well, Wayne, that finished up a bit closer than we all thought.
Look, to Adelaide's credit, we know they're a quality side, and you know, the last 3 weeks have been sensational, and you know, tonight they showed that. Thanks, Andy. And you know, they fought back right to the that last quarter. What did it go for? About 36 minutes. I couldn't believe it, but no, wrapped.
You guys were really pumped up in the room before the game, weren't you?
Yeah, look, we knew it was going to be tough because Adelaide are a quality side, and you know, they've been a bit down, but the last 3 weeks have been great. So they're back to somewhere near their best form, and they proved that tonight.
Spider Burton showed how good a pickup he's been.
Oh, he's sensational out of the centre, and you know, he gave us some real drive out of there, and won a bit of the ball himself out of there. So no, he's been great for us.
And enjoy yourself. Well done.
Yes, thank you, Curls. Whereas that tells the story for the losing coach, Gary Ayres. But this has turned out to be a marvellous fight back. The Crows trying their heart out, but not quite getting there. The Kangaroos holding on 19-14 to 19-11.
saves me telling you. Just listen to them.
Well, for most of the night, it looked like how far the Kangaroos. They led clearly early, but the Crows stormed back and got to within 3 points at the end. The Kangaroos winning 19-14, 128 to the Crows 19-11, 125. Good evening, Drew Morford in the Melbourne studio, bringing you our second match tonight on the Saturday night doubleheader, and we go to Colonial Stadium tonight for Richmond and the West Coast Eagles, lying 7th and 8th on the ladder. After 8 rounds, the Eagles 4 wins and a draw, and Richmond 4 wins. And the Tigers had regained their credibility after a stunning victory last week by 70 points over the Cats at Colonial Stadium, and they'd been doing it without many of their big guns. They were missing, of course, Matty Richardson, also Wayne Campbell, and of course last week Darren Gasper was injured and he was out of the side. And prior to tonight's game, they also lost Benny Gale, who was a last-minute withdrawal, replaced by Ezra Poyas. But the Eagles also were below strength. Of course, we heard about David Wirapunda, and he was selected in the side, but he's going to miss about 6 weeks. So let's go to the action now. Our commentators tonight are Anthony Hudson, along with Ian Robertson and Jim Steins, and we pick up the game early in the first quarter, and at this stage, the Eagles leading by a point.
The kick-in goes short, and McIntosh receives and gives it back to Metropolis. Metropolis kicks out wide into the path of, and giving the opportunity for Cousins. He left it behind after bouncing. Probably the advantage there with the Eagles, because he eventually found Rintoul towards full forward, and no mark. Philip Matera, chance for Harrison. Chaffee, run down by Peter Matera. He's dynamic in that circumstance. Have a look, he's got him again. But eventually the Tigers get clear of their half-back line. Harrison onto the favoured left foot, into the middle, kick a little too high. Morrison couldn't take it. The spillage gathered by Cousins, gets the handball away. Advantage here, Turnbull and Peter Matera, and Peter Matera's vision was terrific, and he's found Gardner within scoring range.
And this is exactly what Gardner's got to do. If you're playing on a smaller player in the rock, you've got to be an attacking ruckman, because